off their season, they are currently 3-0 as well, just recently defeating Mount Vernon in the Week 3 Operation Football Game of the Week. Some things I think Pendleton should be aware of, the now junior Dallas Freeman. Last year, he was at the quarterback position for Greenfield, and at least in the first game, he only threw 5 for 11, which is pretty good, but as of now, he's seen as one of the top quarterbacks in the state, at least according to QB1 Indy. So I think that if they can at least shut down his running game or even just pressure him a little bit, as he hasn't seen much of it, they can maybe shut down Greenfield's offense a little bit. But Dawson, for our Arabians, we were both on the broadcast just last week where we faced off against Newcastle. We took a good way into the 4-day weekend with a 40-0 win over Newcastle. We saw firsthand what type of play they are capable of. I mean, for example, just the running game. We saw 2 touchdowns on the ground, and not only that, but the defensive side, Dawson, as you were just saying, haven't let up any points, and just in that game alone, we saw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and you were mentioning they were aiding for Greenfield Central. The story has been very similar to the Arabians, a 3-0 record, a great start to the season. The only difference is a large reason why the Cougars are undefeated is not the defense, but instead the offense.
Yeah.
The Greenfield Central Cougars averaging 49 points a game, which is 6th in Indiana, 1st in 4A. The Cougars last week, they had a huge win at home against the Mount Vernon Marauders, 41-35, and with that conference win, of course, you were just mentioning there, Aiden, junior quarterback Dallas Freeman dominated the Marauders defense in both the air and the ground. Freeman put up 121 passing yards, 172 rushing yards with a total of 3 touchdowns, and with that really paved the way for the Cougars to start conference play with a win, and that's exactly the quarterback Freeman is. He can get it done in both the air and the ground. A lot of his run plays are designed. He doesn't really scramble that much. He's a great size. Standing at 6'3", he can see over the pocket, and with that has a great field vision, and overall is definitely the top threat, at least in my eyes, here this evening. But with that being said, we will take a quick break. When we return, Zion Palmieri got to sit down with the head coach for the Pendletonites Arabians, Coach Richmond, to discuss this evening's game. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network pregame show, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
All right, we welcome you here to the pregame interview here on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. I'm Zion Palmieri, and I'm joined by the head coach of the Arabian football team, Coach Richmond. Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, going straight into things, this is your first game against a non-senior quarterback, Week 4, Greenfield Central. Does his lack of experience change anything? You've only faced senior quarterbacks so far.
Yeah, no, he's the best one we've seen. Take nothing against the other guys; they're good players. This guy is he's strong, he's fast, and he can spin it. So they beat us last year twice, and they've got us 3 times in a row. And it's funny. This game's bigger than just the quarterback, which I'm sure we'll get to. But he's the guy that makes it go. There's no question.
So the Arabians' defense is probably their strongest point this year, at least is shown. They have 3 shutouts on the air, and they've forced 14 turnovers so far.
Yeah.
Greenfield Central's offense has had 0 turnovers so far this year. Is that an issue to you? Do you notice that?
It's funny because there are it's mincing of words, right? But we call them takeaways too, and we take the ball away. I mean, it's not. There's some that are kind of given to you, right? But every interception we've had, we've taken, we've went and got. And same with our fumble recoveries. We've caused those to this point, if that makes sense. So that's something we take a lot of pride in. We tabulate, we call them shots on goal during the practice. But if you get to the ball carrier and you're not getting a punch on the ball, that's a loaf. So it's a big deal to us, and we got that from IU. Coach Allen does a great job with that. Coach Wilt down there, and they it's one of those things that we take a lot of pride in. So something's going to break tonight, right? And and I have a feeling we're both two good teams, so it's going to be either way, right? They're a really potent offense, 49 points a game. We haven't given up a score yet. Something's going to break tonight, and the team that's resilient and doesn't beat themselves, I think, is the one that's going to come away with it. So.
I know you talked about always trying to like punch the ball out or do something like that.
Yeah.
How do you create those turnovers?
Physicality. There's no question. We have a very physical and tough-minded group of kids playing defense. They're fast. They get to the ball with bad intentions, meaning they want to take it. They're not just satisfied with just a tackle. I mean, Clint Miller last week, he backside pursuit on their quarterback as he scrambled. And you guys saw the play. He came clear across the field, and he absolutely lit him up. He's not just satisfied with getting there and on a play, negative play, where Clint over pursued on, he thought it was a run, it was a pass, they threw it over his head. He pursued the ball down near midfield. Not only did he pursue the ball and tackle the receiver, but he took a shot on the ball when he tackled him, and Nolan Souders was right behind him on pursuit from the other side of the field. So those types of things are characteristic of the kids that we're coaching right now, and it's a cultural thing, and it's something they take a lot of pride in, and it's produced results right now, and so that's the thing. We've got to lean on those things in hard times because there's adversity coming. Sam Ray not being available this week is adversity, but Dontrez Braxton's played a lot of snaps, done a great job this week. So next man up, whether it's injury, whatever the case may be. And in this situation this week, there's 11 guys on the field ready to go with one goal.
So I'm sure you guys are undefeated so far. You have 3 shutouts. I'm sure as a coach that is a blessing and a curse. I'm sure that's a lot of distraction. How do you keep your team like straight and avoid those distractions? Well,
it's I'm pretty consistent regardless of who we're playing, and I would hope that the players would see that and feel that and know that. And the staff, our staff's done a tremendous job this week. I'm not going to predict what's going to happen tonight, but we got better this week. The best week of practice we've had. The kids got to go apply it on the field now. And it isn't because we're 3-0. It isn't because we're playing Greenfield. It's the next week. And that's the process that we harp on all the time. And it's a life lesson, but you got to get up and go to work every day. And you got to do it with an energy that's infectious, and you're gonna give to your coworkers on down the road, or you're gonna take. And so we're trying to get these boys to be givers and to get them to own their little piece of the pie. And so it doesn't matter who we're playing. We want to be locked in, and we want to be our best, and that's the standard that we talk about all the time, is just being our best, and that comes with attitude, that comes with effort, that comes with body language. And the coaches, this staff has just done an awesome job, not just preparing for a really good opponent, but also in getting our kids prepared mentally and emotionally and physically. And it's been a fun week. It's been hard. The heat was hot, and we gave up Labor Day, and we talked to these kids about that. In life, you don't always get choices, and you've committed to a team, and so you practice on Labor Day, and that's everybody. If you don't do that, you're at a disadvantage. And so, that's something the parents sacrifice for that too. And there's a lot that goes into this. And so I'm just real proud of, really, if we were 0-3, it'd be the same way. So it gives some confidence knowing that it's working. And now this is the best team we've played. It's the biggest game because it's the next one. And so, that's something that we've all got to just keep perspective that, the sun's going to come up tomorrow regardless of how we do, and we just want to put our best foot forward out there tonight.
Now, you talked about like preparation almost. You're playing Greenfield at home this week, and I don't know about you, but I'm a big professional football fan, and being home versus away is a big advantage versus disadvantage. How big is that here in high school football? Well,
I think you get the crowd, but we have a great following. You saw at Anderson, and we had more fans than them, right? So, it's one of those things that we've played this now our third home game. It definitely gives us some energy. I'm a little weird. I enjoy going on the road and feeling the animosity from the opponents. And I love walking into an opponent's stadium and feeling that dislike. It energizes me. It gets me gets competitive juices flowing, and I kind of see that as our opponents come in here. When I see those Greenfield colors walking onto our field, that is a defense mode. That's an attack mode, and I think our players have that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this, but Coach Broughton, he's been heavy on my heart this week and on my mind, and he's a guy that my first couple of years here, I learned a lot from him as it pertained to the conference and as it pertained to tradition of our program. And I'm so fortunate to have had that relationship with him. But the impression I got from him about this week was his favorite week. And I hope Matt Broughton's listening tonight, and I hope Mrs. Broughton is listening, and I hope we make him proud, because I know when Coach started, Greenfield was a very, very, very good football program. And since then, there's been highs and lows, but they are fighting for their, I think, third consecutive winning season since the 70s. I could be wrong in that. And so Coach Nolting has really done a good job of elevating their program and getting them to compete on a whole other level. And they've beat us the last 2 years. And I think that's something that the rivalry is renewed. I don't think it was ever lost because we're border schools, but that adds an element to this, right? And so that's exciting. And I think just the environment, you talk about that home environment. I love playing in front of our community because of how they come out and support us. So I know the boys do too.
Well, that appears to be all the time we have today. Once again, I'm Zon Palmieri, your Coach Richmond. Thanks for joining us here on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
It's competitive juices flowing, and I kind of see.
At Pendleton Heights, radio is a huge part of our lives. From programming to social media to podcast to sports, our student-run radio station is dedicated to informing and entertaining everyone in and around our campus. We're with you every step of the day. Whether it be in your car, in class, at lunch, or at work, we're here to provide you with the local news and the best songs. Experience the full impact of radio today by tuning in to 91.7 WEEM. To learn more, go to our website at 917weem.org. We're here for our community.
Our program, and I'm so fortunate to have had that relationship with him. But
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Program and getting them to compete on a whole other level, and they've beat us the last 2 years, and I think that's something that the rivalry is renewed. I don't think it was ever lost because we're border schools, but that adds an element to this, right? And so that's exciting, and I think just the environment, you talk about that home environment. I love playing in front of our community because of how they come out and support us. So I know the boys do too.
Well, that appears to be all the time we have today. Once again, I'm Zon Palmieri, your Coach Richmond. Thanks for joining us here on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7 WEEM is a student-run radio station. We provide everything from programming, music, to live sports broadcasts and podcasts, but we can't do it without your support. Everything you donate goes to the students that operate 91.7 WEEM. Donate today at 917weem.org. Again, that's 917weem.org.
Broadcasting from the WEEM studios, underwritten by Community Hospital Anderson, this is the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM Pendleton.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network pregame show. Taking a look now at the weather. Currently, it is partly cloudy. You're sitting around that high 70 mark. Beautiful weather for football. Beautiful day in general. Might cool off a bit as this game progresses, getting towards that evening time. But we're already at kickoff. Pendleton Heights will start kicking the ball away to the Greenfield Central Cougars as Dominic Apo in the kickoff unit out there. Dominic Apo averaging 43.5 yards per kick. He had 1 touchback on the season in total, 11 kickoffs, so very solid kicker. He's been the starter here at Pendleton since his sophomore year, and I think consistent is the best word to describe him. He's 11 for 11 on PATs, 2 for 2 on field goals. And then for the kick returner for the Cougars, in the back they're receiving, that is Kirk Kennett, the senior. He's had 4 receptions, averaging 50 yards a return, as long as is a 93-yarder, so very explosive returner. Pendleton Heights will have to be careful here. There, kick is away. This one looks like it'll bounce out of bounds just around that 10-yard line, and with that, Greenfield Central will start at the 35. Of course, that being the penalty will push them all the way up to their own 35-yard line. Just like that, Dallas Freeman and company will take the field for the first time this evening as Greenfield Central will get us started.
Yeah, but for that kick, we did see Dominic Apo's sweet spot again, just unfortunately rolled out there.
Yeah, but last year when these two teams faced off, of course, they had 2 meetings. The first, Pendleton Heights lost in a big margin. The second was the first round of sectionals. Pendleton Heights lost that one as well. That one 34-28. And, of course, Greenfield Central last year very famous for that wishbone formation offense with 3 running backs in the backfield. This year, they're not running as much, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see it the most they have this year. And it looks like that we'll get started with the wishbone formation. It'll be a run to the right side there. That's Jake Hinton, the senior, with the first carry on the night. And that'll go for about 6 yards on first down, brings up second for the Cougars.
Yeah, we saw quarterback Dallas Freeman hands it off in that wishbone formation again to Jake Hinton. He just split up the middle for 6 yards.
Freeman under center now. Man in motion. It looks like he'll just give it to the fullback up the middle. He'll break free across midfield into Arabian territory before being finally wrapped up and brought down past the 40-yard line. It's Braylon Bevante, the sophomore.
Yeah, Braylon Benavente, he is averaging 88 yards per game, so you could say that is a lot, and he's only a sophomore.
0-0 our score. Greenfield Central with possession. They'll hurry up to the line of scrimmage here. Once again, Freeman under center. Freeman will keep it himself, but the Arabian's going to read that one like a book. It'll be a gain of 0 yards. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, starting off early, we already see the Arabian defense just sack the quarterback right behind the line.
It was Eli Arthur with the tackle for loss. 2nd and 10 now for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Once again, Freeman will line up under center. He'll give it to the fullback once again in Braylon Benavente. That'll be a gain of about 3 yards on 2nd down. Brings up 3rd and long, Greenfield Central.
Yeah, we saw the man in motion from the left to the right side, faking that handoff, but then again just split right up to the middle to the sophomore fullback.
Got a packed house here in John Broughton Field, and the Arabians showing it, getting on their feet, trying to make some noise, getting the heads of the Greenfield Cougar offense. Freeman will wind up shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Freeman will look to throw, fires over the middle, and he finds his man. It's caught. Nice throw and a nice catch. Will be tackled around the 20-yard line there, so that'll be a first down for the Cougars. Catch made by Miller.
Yeah, Dallas Freeman, the quarterback, just threw that ball right over the middle to the inside slant.
That was Boston Willard with the catch. But now a carry here on first down for Greenfield Central. This one will go for a very solid 9 yards, it looks like. Brings up 2nd and very short. Once again, that's Braylon Benavente on the carry. It's his 3rd carry of the night. Now 2nd and 2 for the Cougars as Freeman will line up shotgun. Get a handoff here. No, scratch that. A pitch to the right side. He has an opening, but he just can't quite make it to that pylon. Hit out of bounds on just about the 1-yard line. And Greenfield Central here. So I wouldn't say surprising Pendleton Heights, but they're surely coming out of the gates firing. 1st and goal Cougars from the 2-yard line.
Yeah, on that last play, we did see a fake handoff to the running back and then a lateral from Dallas Freeman
Freeman will give it to Invente. It looks like up the middle, but this run on the goal line will get stopped rather quickly. It'll be a gain of 0 yards. Maybe a yard, if anything, brings up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, but as the Cougars are near the end zone, this is where Pendleton's defense actually plays quite the best, I would say.
Handoff here. It looks like a quarterback keeper, and he'll get into the end zone there. Greenfield Central going to get on the scoreboard first off. And that'll be Pendleton Heights defense. First touchdown given up on the season as Greenfield Central going to put the first 6.
Yeah, that touchdown coming in an easy part. We saw Dallas Freeman just getting pushed in the end zone by his offensive line for the touchdown.
Looks like we got a 2-point try here for the Greenfield Central Cougars, and they will get in with ease. Barely pretty much walked into the end zone there for the 2-point conversion, and they'll push their lead now 8-0. Now the question is, Pendleton Heights, can their offense return? We'll see up next after a quick break on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEN.
This presentation of the
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Arabian football on 91.7 WEEN.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network. Score, 9 minutes, 14 left to play in the first quarter. Greenfield Central 8, Pendleton Heights 0. Greenfield Central got the first possession there, and they counted off with a touchdown off of the quarterback, Dallas Freeman, on the quarterback keeper up the middle. And then following that, we saw a 2-point attempt by Greenfield Central, which they then converted to push their lead to 8-0. Pendleton Heights will get the ball for the first time this evening, as this kick by Aaron Lee will be a short, low one. It'll be fielded around that 20-yard line, and then he'll be down around that 25, just past the 25 on the 26. So now Isaac Wilson and the Pendleton Heights offense will take the field for the first time this evening. Hopefully can respond to that very, very solid Greenfield Central drive we saw in the first drive of the game.
But for Isaac Wilson, I mean, we have been doing good on the season, winning our last game, yet again 40-0, so we know that the Arabians can score.
Looks like might be Colton Frank in there. It's Colton Franken as a quarterback, and we got a pass swatted down on first down. Frank looked to throw to the right side, and that one just knocked down almost instantly by Hinton. Jake Hinton, that is. That'll bring up second down there. Once again, Colton Frank will stay in as quarterback here.
Yeah, on that defensive side, we saw Jake Hinton just slip through a couple of men on the line and swat that pass down. Thankfully, it wasn't intercepted.
Colton Frank shotgun, 2 wide receivers out right. One of them, Isaac Wilson. We got a throw to the left side. This one will be low. A bit too low there. It'll smack the turf. That was intended to Caden Sims, but with that incompletion, third down, Pendleton Heights up next, 3rd and 10 to be specific. Pendleton Heights met with an early test here. See if they can make something out of it. Looks like that Colton Frank quarterback stretch was short-lived, as now Isaac Wilson will make his way back to the quarterback spot.
Yeah, and that last throw for Colton Frank was just a little bit short to Caden Sims there on that left side.
Wilson shotgun, 2 wide receivers out right, 1 out left. Wilson will keep it himself. So he'll be tackled there just after a 2-yard carry or so. Brings up 4th and 8, and Pendleton Heights looks like they'll have no choice but to punt this ball away to the Greenfield Central Cougars. So here comes Wes Kupfer in the punt unit for the Arabians. And back there, 2 return for the Cougars. That's the senior, Kirk Canet. Wesley Kupfer averaging 38.8 yards per punt. This one will first hit the turf around the 45, and that will be Pendleton Heights football, it looks like. I'm not sure. It looks like number 7 for Greenfield Central, Kurt Cannett, touched that football in a phenomenal play by Nolan Souders, the all-conference corner for Pendleton Heights, jumping on that football, and just like that, the Arabians will take the field once again on now the Greenfield Central Cougars' 30-yard line.
Yeah, definitely a great recovery there by Nolan Souders. And Nolan Souders for himself, in the last game we saw him return a pick 6, so we know he's definitely the energy guy here on this team, and he proved it yet again.
So Pendleton Heights given a second chance here after a 3-and-out, at least nearly a 3-and-out, but after getting the ball right back, it looks like Colton Frank under center will pitch it off to Isaac Wilson behind the line of scrimmage. Wilson will use that explosive speed to get past the 30-yard line around the, it's going to be hit out of bounds around the 29, brings up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and Isaac Wilson, as he did catch that ball, almost playing as the running back there. Isaac Wilson, as a quarterback, we know he is a great rusher, so it makes sense to see him rush up the field there for the run completion.
Now just under 8 minutes to play. Score remains 8-0. Greenfield Central with the lead. Looks like Frank will be here. Shotgun formation. Nate DeRolf in motion. Right to left. Frank will keep it himself. Then pitch to Nate DeRolf to the left side. And DeRolf, it looks like he was just short of the first down marker. So that'll bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 1 to be specific for the Arabians from the Greenfield Central 26.
Yeah, and something there on that last play, we did see the quarterback fake the handoff and take it for himself, but then lateral it backwards, and I believe we saw that same play on the Greenfield side when they were on offense.
Looks like Isaac Wilson will take over as quarterback here, as Dresden Roberts will enter in to the formation. Dresden Roberts, of course, for Pendleton Heights has definitely been their big body 3rd down back, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's going to get the ball here on 3rd and 1. Looks like Wilson will keep it himself, and it'll work out as he slips through tackles for the first down and a bit more on top of it, past the 20-yard line into the red zone. New set of downs, Arabians.
Yeah, running back Dresden Roberts, he does average 8.2 yards per carry, but Isaac Wilson, as he felt the pressure there, he kept it for himself and gained the first down, splitting up right through the middle toward the left side.
So 1st and 10, Pendleton Heights here from Greenfield Central's 19. Score 8-0. Greenfield Central with the lead. Wilson will line up as quarterback, shotgun formation. It looks like he'll want to keep it to himself to the right side. Escape some defenders. He had a hole, but he was hit by that second wave of defenders. It's going to be a 9-yard carry on first down, brings up the 2nd and 1 for the Arabians.
Yeah, and we see some more momentum on the Arabian side, especially on the offense. Just there on that last play, Isaac Wilson yet again kept it for himself, running up a long distance, splitting through that right side of his offensive line.
Yeah, but Wilson, 158 yards on the ground heading into this game, 3 rushing touchdowns, is definitely a quarterback that can get it done on the ground as he's been showing so far in this drive. Colton Frank will be lining up in shotgun here as he'll fire for the corner of the end zone. That's a jump ball, but it's going to fall incomplete there on 2nd down. That pass will be intended there for Drake Stevens, but again, Stevens, the senior, wasn't able to pull it down, so 3rd and 1 now for Pendleton Heights from Greenfield Central's 9-yard line.
Yeah, but pre-snap there, we saw 2 receivers line up on the left side, 1 on the right, that being Drake Stevens. But on the left side, there was only 1 man covering pre-snap, but it looks like the corner did slide over, so maybe that was Isaac Wilson's intended receiver there.
3rd and 1, Arabians from the 9-yard line. Wilson shotgun, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wilson will keep it himself to the left side. He'll get the first down and a bit more. He'll be wrapped up and brought down around the 5-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Arabians for the first time tonight.
Yeah, in the red zone for the Arabians. We've definitely seen their offense pick up as they've gotten further down the field.
So 1st and goal for the Arabians. 8-0 Greenfield Central with the lead with just 5 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first. Isaac Wilson, shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Wilson will want to keep it himself to the left side, and Wilson will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Pendleton Heights. Arabians strike back. Now trailing 8-6. Now the question is, do the Arabians send out the extra point unit or try to tie this ball game up? And it looks like they'll send out Dominic Apo to try to knock in an extra point here to at least trim down this lead to just 1 point. Again, Dominic Apo 11 for 11 on PATs. There's the hold, the kick, and it is good. Pendleton Heights cutting down the lead, now trailing 8-7 with 5:10 left to play in the first. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
This presentation.
Welcome to the Arabian Roundup with your host, Kennedy Quinn and Bella Myers. The Arabian Roundup is here every Tuesday through Friday from 5 to 7 a.m. The show rounds up your morning thoughts as they discuss the craziest of topics. From dad jokes to the latest Taylor Swift songs, the Arabian Roundup is here to perk up your mornings here on 91.7 WEEM.
Welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in alongside Aiden Wilson, I'm Dawson Perrell. We got a conference matchup here this evening against the Pendleton Heights Arabians and the Greenfield Central Cougars. But we're about halfway into the first quarter here. Currently on the scoreboard, Greenfield Central with the lead 8-7 with 5:10 left to play in the first. But they are on that last score for Pendleton Heights. We saw Isaac Wilson with the 4-yard carry. It was first and goal. Isaac Wilson had a carry, keeper to the left side, and he just walked himself into that end zone. So now here's Dominic Apo to kick this ball away. It'll be fielded around the 10-yard line here. And the Greenfield Central carrier will be wrapped up and brought down rather quickly past the 25, just shy of that 30-yard line. That's where Greenfield Central will take over.
Yeah, before that last drive, Isaac Wilson again scoring, and we know he is comfortable on the ground. I know last year he did lead the conference in rushing yards, if I'm correct. Starting off the game strong with his own rushing touchdown.
So 8-7 our score as Dallas Freeman and company will take the field once again on that 29-yard line. First and 10, Freeman, shotgun. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. We'll get a carry here on first by Braylon Benavente, the sophomore. He'll get a gain of about 6 yards there on first. Brings up second down for Greenfield.
Yeah, and for Braylon Benavente, he is kind of short, but he is almost their power running back, so he definitely splits up the middle most of his carries.
Freeman will look to throw, fires quickly over to the right side, and that receiver is hit hard. That ball's out, but he was very much down. That was Boston Willard with the incompletion. It looks like they will call that ball. No, they will call it a completion, so that is a catch there, it looks like. New set of downs. And they are going to call it completion. Pendleton Heights fans don't like that call at all. It was close, though. But the refs will say first down here. So now Greenfield Central on their own 42. Freeman under center. Man in motion, right to left. Looks like we'll get a carry once again to that left side. That carry will go for about a 3-yard gain there.
Yeah, before that big hit on the last play, we do have to remember that both of these teams did face off in the first round of the sectionals. Greenfield defeating the Arabians, knocking them out of the tournament.
Freeman under center here, 2nd and 7 from their own 45. Freeman will step back in the pocket, looks to throw. He'll keep it himself, scrambles up the middle, and it looks like he will be just shy, it looks like, of the first. Either way, we got a penalty marker on the field. This one might be coming back. Sure enough, it looks like it will be.
Yeah, and for Dallas Freeman, he did run up the middle, looked downfield originally, looked for his receivers. Didn't see anybody open, though, and just took it for himself. But that one is called back for the Greenfield Central Cougars.
Looks like we got an offensive face mask here on Greenfield Central. Very much an unusual penalty. Don't see that too often, but with that, that'll push back the Cougars. Now second and about 13 here from their own 38-yard line. We got a pitch here to the right side for the Cougars. This one going nowhere. Gain of nothing there on second down. We do got a penalty marker once again on the play. We'll see what this is. That was Braylon Benavente with a carry. He's been the powerhouse for the run game so far on the evening for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Get another penalty on Greenfield. This one a holding, so that'll push them back even further.
Yeah, now 13 yards back from, 23 yards back from a first down.
Yeah.
On that last play, we did see the running back try to go left. He was caught, but yet again, that is pulled back.
So second and 23 now for Greenfield Central from their own 29. Freeman will line up shotgun, trips out right, one wide receiver out to the left. He wants to look to throw, fires over the middle, and that is overthrown. That's a dangerous throw there. Those safeties can very easily pick that thing off, but fortunately for the Cougars, that one will fall incomplete. So with that, they'll bring up third and very, very long for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Third and 23 to be exact, and you got to be thinking Freeman will look deep here, trying to convert on the deep, deep third down.
Yeah, just for that last play, he did look at his receiver to the left side. Good coverage there. Threw it in the middle, but that pass was too far to the right. It is incomplete.
So third and 23 now. Freeman, it looks like, will be shotgun. It looks like we will have a timeout here for the Greenfield Central Cougars, but 8-7 our score. Greenfield Central with the lead with 3 minutes, 33 seconds left to play. But Weem Weekly is a podcast dedicated to give you more of what's going on around the Arabian nation. Sam Duffer, Ethan Lincoln, and Brooklyn Chova give you the latest PHHS and the South Madison Community School Corporation. Find it anytime on 917 WEEM.org or wherever podcasts can be found. But Aiden, for Pendleton Knights so far this year, of course, a big central thing and a reason why they're 3-0, at least in my opinion, is their defense. Of course, we were talking about heading into this game. They haven't allowed a single point. They've had 12 turnovers forced, of course. Have had 3 sacks, 6 quarterback hurries, 10 passes defended. I mean, Pendleton Knights' defense have been very solid, but here today, of course, Greenfield Central on that first drive, they marched down that field. But here, met with a third and 23, we might see Pendleton Knights hold off the Cougars. Freeman will look downfield. This one, it looks like, will be knocked out. No, it'll be picked off. Picked off by Clint Miller, the safety. What a pick by Clint. That was a heavy hit. Collided with the receiver for Greenfield Central. That was Kurt Cannett. Still held on to that football. And just like that, Pendleton Heights will take over here. We do have a Cougar down on the field, so we will take a quick break. Once again, score 8-7. Greenfield with the lead on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Not everyone can be a champion in high school sports, but everyone can be a champion.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network. Scoreboard 8-7, Greenfield Central with a lead. 3 minutes, 23 left to play in the first. Currently, Arabians with possession of the football, 2nd and 10 after an incompletion there on first Pendletonites currently on their own 44-yard line as Isaac Wilson will line up shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers on both sides. Isaac Wilson looks like he want to keep it to himself. Cuts back to the middle, cuts over to the right side, and will be cut over by the ankles. Taken down by Aaron Lee, but not after a 5-yard carry there on second down. Brings up 3rd and long for the Arabians.
Yeah, Isaac Wilson just walked all over the Greenfield defense there. Only a 5-yard gain, but I mean, he started on the left side, cut to the middle, and then cut straight back to the right. So, it's a good run there by Isaac Wilson.
That was a great tackle by Aaron Lee, of course, going for the ankles. I think that's a smart move for Isaac Wilson. You want to aim low with a slippery player like that. Wilson once again, shotgun formation. We'll get a handoff here to Keaton Jones, the shifty junior, there on 3rd down. That'll be a 1st down as Pendletonites will cross over midfield into Cougar territory. So new set of downs now for the Arabians. Keaton Jones was taken down just shy of that 40-yard line on that 42. And that's exactly where the Arabians will get a new set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and for Keaton Jones, we saw him get just another touchdown in that last game, leading the running back room with 2 touchdowns on the year so far.
1st and 10 now. Wilson shotgun, spread formation. Running back behind him. Wilson will quickly look to throw. Fires across the middle. Finds his man. It's caught. That was Caden Sims, on the catch for about 9 yards on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 1 for Pendleton Heights.
Yeah, and with that interception that did give the Arabians back the ball, they did start on the negative 40-yard line and already moving up towards the 30, so definitely a smooth start on this drive for the Arabians.
Colton Frank will line up now as quarterback once again as Isaac Wilson. Going to line up as wide receiver to that right side. Colton Frank will fire on the quick curl route to Caden Sims, who will haul it in once again for a 1st down. Pendleton Heights now cross the 30-yard line. Caden Sims pushed out of bounds there on the 28, 1st and 10 Arabians in Cougar territory.
Yeah, and Caden Sims' last play just before that 1st down caught the ball on the left side on the inside slant. It was just a yard short, but did get it again and converted for the 1st down there.
8-7 our score. Greenfield Central with the lead with 1:37 left to play in the first. Pendleton Heights currently with possession. 1st and 10 on the Greenfield Central 28. So we got a carry here on 1st down. This one blown up by the Greenfield Central defensive line. Multiple Cougars there on the tackle. That was Isaac Wilson lining up as a running back on that play with the carry. Once again, that one going backwards, in fact. A loss of about a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Isaac Wilson on that quarterback keep was just tackled right before the line of scrimmage there. Greenfield defense shut that quarterback run right down to the ground.
Colton Frank shotgun. Frank will look to throw. Scrambles out left side. Throw on the run. It'll be caught by Nate. Nope. Scratch that. Nate threw off with the drop. So incompletion there. We do have a penalty once again on the play. That one would have been a nice sideline grab, but that just flew right out of the hands of Nate Rolfe. So this one I think is going to be on Pendleton Heights, just based on the reaction of the huddle. And sure enough, this will be a Pendleton Heights penalty there. That's a holding. So that'll push back Pendleton Heights 10 yards here, making this 2nd down a bit tougher for them.
Yeah, 2nd and 21 at that, but they don't have to get all the way there just in 1 down.
So now on 2nd and 21, under a minute to play. Isaac Wilson and the Arabian offense will line up here on the Cougar 39-yard line. Wilson will look to throw to the right side, finds Reese Reddington on the wide receiver screen. Reese Reddington with some good blocks. Will get a gain of about 10 yards there on 2nd down. Brings up 3rd and long. It's going to be 3rd and about 11 after the gain of 10 yards. Clock still running, now under 30 seconds to play in the first.
Yeah, and that catch by Reese Reddington brings them right back to where they were before the flag. But on this 3rd and long, just a couple seconds left remaining in the first quarter as well. You wonder what the Arabians will do here.
Wilson will line up as the quarterback shotgun. He has trips out right with Caden Sims, or trips out left, with Caden Sims to his right. But that'll do it for the first. Of course, this will stay as Pendleton Heights football.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Pendleton Heights Arabians currently with possession of the football, 3rd and 10, they'll call it, from the Cougars' 29-yard line, as Isaac Wilson will line up shotgun. He has trips out left, as well as a wide receiver to his right. We'll get a quick throw here on the out route. It will be caught out of bounds. Caden Sims on the reception. That'll be his 3rd reception of the evening. It looks like this will be enough for the first down. Sure enough, Arabians' new set of downs now on the Cougars' 18-yard line.
Yeah, and Caden Sims, he is getting some great receptions here. On his last 2, they were first downs or at least close to them. And here, yet again, he does get a completion for yet another first down.
So 1st and 10 now for Pendleton Heights. On the Cougars' 18-yard line, Wilson shotgun will look to throw once again quickly to that left side of the field. It's Caden Sims once again on the reception. This will be a gain of about 9 yards on first down, brings up 2nd, and so far this Greenfield Central secondary having a hard time covering this short passing game by the Arabians.
Yeah, and for that route there on the far left side, for Caden Sims, he did run an inside slant. Looked like he tried to curl back, but the Greenfield defender just wrapped him up in time to get him down.
Wilson shotgun, 2 wide receivers out right, 1 out left. Wilson will try to keep it himself to the left side, but he is wrapped up quickly and brought down by Zach Blevins, the junior. That'll be his 2nd sack of the year.
Yeah, Isaac Wilson just waited a little bit too long there in that pocket. The Greenfield defense did rush in and just sacked him for 4 yards back.
8-7 our score. Greenfield Central with the lead with just under 11 minutes to play in the first half. Looks like Isaac Wilson will stay in as quarterback. If you're just tuning in, we've seen a lot of Colton Frank and Isaac Wilson, both of them getting pretty much an even amount of reps. But we'll get a timeout here by the Pendleton Heights Arabians, so we'll take a quick break with them. Once again, score 8-7, Greenfield Central with the lead, under 11 minutes to play in the second quarter. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. More information is available at twistersodabar.com. Twisters Soda Bar.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network. Score 8-7, Greenfield Central with the lead. 10 minutes 43 left to play in the second quarter. Pendleton Heights Arabians currently with possession of the football. 3rd and 5 from the Cougars. 14-yard line. Colton Frank will look to throw here on 3rd down, and he'll find his target on the inside slant, and that is a touchdown for Pendleton Heights. Pendleton Heights' 2nd touchdown of the night. It's Caden Sims on the touchdown. He's been destroying it this drive. I think that's 5 catches, if I'm correct, maybe 4 on this drive alone. And, of course, he'll cap it off with the touchdown as well. Pendleton Knights now going to take the lead for the first time tonight, 13-8, as here comes the extra point unit. And it looks like we're going to have a penalty flag, if I'm correct, on the Cougars. This will be declined, of course. Going to count the touchdown. So here's Dominic Apo and the extra point unit, hoping to push this lead to 14-8.
Yeah, but on that last throw for the touchdown, that snap was a little bit high to the right, but quarterback Colton Frank did recover very nicely and threw it to the favorite receiver, it looks like, for tonight, Caden Sims, for just another touchdown.
Yeah, and that's Colton Frank's second passing touchdown of the season. He had one last game against Newcastle. This extra point will be through the uprights. Pendleton Heights Arabians will push their lead now 14-8. So we will take a quick break. Arabians with the lead, 10 minutes, 39 left to play in the second quarter. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
At Pendleton Heights, radio is a huge part of our lives. From programming to social media to podcast to sports, our student-run radio station is dedicated to informing and entertaining everyone in and around our campus. We're with you every step of the day. Whether it be in your car, in class, at lunch, or at work, we're here to provide you with the local news and the best songs. Experience the full impact of radio today by tuning in to 91.7 WEEM. To learn more, go to our website at 917weem.org. We're here for our community.
The opportunity for student athletes to grow and develop in the second classroom and to protect high school sports for future generations to come.
Champions of high school sports are just one of the many reasons that education-based athletics in Indiana are so special.
And the easiest way to be a champion is by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic event.
This is showing support. This is championing high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network. Scoreboard, Pendleton Heights 14, Greenfield Central 8. Pendleton Heights just took the lead on a passing touchdown on the connection from Colton Frank to Caden Sims. And with that, Pendleton Heights will take the first field of the evening. Here on the kickoff, it looks like the receiver there for Greenfield Central, the returner, he's tackled just shy of the 20-yard line, so that's where the Cougars will be starting off here, first down.
Yeah, short return there by the Cougars. We saw the Arabian defense just swarm in that punt returner, not allowing him to get any further down the field.
Looks like we do have a penalty marker here on Greenfield Central. This one will be put back even further. So with that, it looks like Greenfield Central will start here on the 9-yard line. Not the best field positioning here. Let's see if Pendleton Heights can take advantage of that. But here Freeman will line up under center, 1st and 10. Hand it off to the running back. This one will go for about a 3-yard carry once again. That is Benavente on the carry.
Yeah, and for that punt return, it sounded like the flag was holding on Greenfield.
So 2nd and 5 now for the Cougars from their own 14. Freeman under center. Looks like he'll keep it himself to the right side, but that one is going nowhere. Eli Arthur on the TFL there. So with that, looks like that'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Greenfield Central Cougars after the tackle for loss by Eli Arthur and Dresden Roberts.
Yeah, we saw a man motion from the left to the right, maybe trying to become an extra blocker for Dallas Freeman, but the Arabian defense just swarmed in there yet again.
Got a carry here on 3rd down for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Looks like they just got past that 1st down marker. So new set of downs here for Greenfield as they'll escape this 3rd down situation. So now on the 20-yard line, Greenfield Central will take formation once again.
On that last play, Dallas Freeman did hand the ball off to the left side.
Freeman under center will look to throw. Pump fakes, doesn't see anyone, takes it himself, and he is taken down, not after about a 3-yard, maybe 5-yard gain on first down. Brings up second.
Yeah, the Arabian defense playing good. Yet again, we know the Arabian defense before this game didn't allow any points, and we're seeing some of their tactics here.
Yeah, after that first drive where Greenfield Central marched down the field and scored, this Arabians defense looks like they've definitely toughened up a bit. Now on 2nd and 3, it looks like we'll get a carry here once again by Braylon Benavente. This one going for just about a yard on 2nd, brings up 3rd and short, 3rd and 1 to be specific for Greenfield Central. And once again, the Cougars met with a 3rd down test.
Yeah, but for the Cougars, we have seen them run the ball a lot, especially for Braylon Benavente, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him cut up the middle here for the first down.
Tight formation here for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Freeman under center will hand it off, and this might be short. It's up to the ref's positioning of the football, and it looks like that will be a first down. That was definitely a close call there. The Arabians did a nice job picking up on that run, but it was enough for the first down. So with that, Greenfield Central will get their second first down of the drive, now on their own 31.
Yeah, the Arabians, they are matching coverage pretty well. Expecting the run there, loaded the box, but just unfortunately couldn't get it.
Freeman looks to throw here, fires, and that ball is smacked out. What a nice job by the Pendleton Heights defensive back, Nolan Souders, completely blowing up that receiver on the out route, knocking that ball out. That's going to result in an incompletion for Greenfield Central, now 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Nolan Souders, we saw him in the last game get 2 interceptions and 1 even going back to the end zone for 6 points. So he is a great defender out there for the Arabians.
2nd and 10 now for the Cougars on their own 31-yard line. Pendleton Heights currently with the lead 14-8. Looks like we got a handoff here to the left side, and this one will go for about a yard or 2 on 2nd down. It's Cooper Hinton, the sophomore, on the carry there. That one, it looks like that'll actually be a penalty. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, and sure enough, I think this one is a penalty flag, a holding on the Greenfield Central Cougars, so that will set them back 5 yards. Now 2nd and 15 for Greenfield Central from their own 26.
Yeah, pre-snap for the Cougars. It looks like the people behind the line, the quarterback and maybe some of his running backs, were looking at each other in confusion. And yep, that one is going back just 5 yards for the Cougars.
Greenfield Central shotgun formation. Pendleton Heights lining up in a 3-4. This ball will be thrown over the middle on a deep slant by Greenfield Central. It'll be caught. I think that will just be enough for a first down there. That is Kirk Cannett on the catch. So now 1st and 10 for the Cougars as they will hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Still not across midfield on the 42 now. This one will be caught on a quick curl route.
Yeah,
that was Landon Ford on the catch. 1st and 10, Greenfield Central.
On that last throw, we did see the linebacker, Nick Trout, try to just swat that ball away. But the defender, after he caught it, did just come down with it, securing that yardage.
Greenfield Central will look to throw here on 1st down. Dallas Freeman doesn't see anyone. Will take it himself on the quarterback keeper. Dives down for a gain of about 5 yards on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Now in Arabian territory on the 48.
Yeah, the Arabians definitely holding their backfield pretty tightly, not allowing anything too deep.
2nd and 5. We've got a keeper here by him. This ball's out, and it's picked up by Eli Arthur. Pendleton Heights going the other way. Eli Arthur has blockers. He's at the 20, the 15, but he's chased down and tackled at the 10-yard line. But Pendleton Heights with a huge turnover. And just like that, the offense will take the field once again on the 10-yard line. It's Eli Arthur with the fumble recovery.
Yeah, and for Dallas Freeman, the Greenfield quarterback, he did run out to the left side Didn't see any receivers downfield, and when he got tackled, looks like that ball just got stripped loose, and Eli Arthur took it almost to home, but just 10 yards short there for the Arabians.
Yeah, and Greenfield Central heading into this game, 0 fumbles on the season. They were a great team when it comes to ball security, but Pendleton Heights' defense put them to the test. Forcing the fumble, then Eli Arthur will take this all the way to the 10-yard line, and that's where Colton Frank and company will take over. Colton Frank on the quick in route to Nate Duroff. That is caught for the Pendleton Heights touchdown, and Pendleton Heights will extend their lead now 20-8 against the Greenfield Central Cougars. Again, that was Eli Arthur on the fumble recovery. He took that to the 10-yard line before being chased down and tackled, but it didn't take long for Pendleton Heights. Colton Frank on the throw to his junior teammate, Nate Duroff, on the deep slant route for the 10-yard touchdown, as now Dominic Apo and the holder, Reese Reddington, will take the field for the extra point.
Yeah, and quarterback Colton Frank, he is pretty comfortable with his red zone slants.
This extra point will be up through the uprights. Pendleton Heights now pushing their lead 21-8. And just like that, Arabians, again, just pushing this lead even further. Pendleton Heights doing a very solid job. Yeah, but of course 21-8 is our score, but be sure to tune in tomorrow morning as we'll be having our weekly coaches show on the Arabian Sports Network Coaches Show. We'll be meeting with various coaches as well as players. That coaches show will start at 8 o'clock, finish up at 9 o'clock. That'll be an hour. But Dominic Apo in the kickoff unit for Pendleton Heights will take the field now. Of course, I was mentioning earlier, Dominic Apo on the season, 11 kickoffs. He's averaging 43.5 average. His first kickoff here this evening did go there, his first opening kickoff did go out of bounds. He had a struggle with that last week. I mean, Pendleton Heights does like to put their kickoffs in the back left corner or back right corner, but of course you don't want it to roll out of bounds, which has been a struggle, but Dominic Apo, again, just such a great kicker, as Coach Richmond has mentioned in the past with several interviews with him.
Yeah, and for that first kick of the game, we did see Dominic Apo kick it near the 20-yard line. Eventually did roll out. Definitely consistent kicker, though.
But back there to return for the Greenfield Central Cougars, that's Kurt Connett and Cooper Henn. Here's the kick by Apo. This one, it looks like, will stay in bounds, it looks like. Dominic Apo pinning that in the back corner, exactly what you want. And just like that, the Greenfield Central returner Cooper Henn will be pushed out of bounds on what it looks like the 10-yard line, or at least around there, and that's where Greenfield Central will take over. It looks like it's just past the 10-yard line on about the 15. And again, that's where Dallas Freeman and company will start this drive. Once again, deep in their own territory, really for the second time tonight.
Yeah.
We were just mentioning there, Aiden, that's exactly what you want for Dominic Apo. I mean, it's risky to kick to that back corner for the risk, of course, it going out of bounds. But, I mean, if you can get that, just that beautiful corner, it'll pay off, and as we just saw. Freeman under center will get a handoff here on first down up the middle. This one will go for about 5 yards. That's Jake Hinton on the carry, the senior. Brings up second down for the Cougars.
Yeah, that previous run just splitting up toward the middle right side, 4 or 5 yards.
Freeman under center. Once again, we'll get a handoff up the middle. This one blown up. It's going nowhere. Looks like the ref will give them a yard, if anything.
Yeah.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and short for the Greenfield Central Cougars, 3rd and 3 to be specific.
Yeah, they tried to run the ball again there, but Dawson, as you were saying, the Arabian defense just blew it up, pushing all of their linebackers in there.
Freeman under center. We're going to another carry up the middle here. It looks like this will do it. Yeah, that will do it for the first down there. So new set of downs for the Cougars after yet another carry there. That was Braylon Benavente. So 1st and 10 from their own 21 is where Greenfield will line up.
Yeah, and I think you could expect for Greenfield's offense to take this drive pretty slow as they do get the ball after the half.
Get a pitch here to the left side. Cooper Hinton will get the ball, and he'll be wrapped up by the ankles. That'll be a loss of about 2 or 3 yards on first. It was Ryan Kiesling with the wrap-up. Brings up 2nd and 12 for Greenfield.
Yeah, and we see the Arabian run defense just showing themselves out yet again. That one, a tackle for loss. The running back did try to go to that left side, but all the Arabians just shifted right over and got him before that first down marker.
So 2nd and 12. We got Dallas Freeman with a bad handoff. Freeman will recover it. That football hit the ground, but again, Freeman was able to pick it up, but with that, he'll be tackled for a loss of about 1 yard or 2. So yet again, Greenfield Central going the other opposite way. 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 to be specific, is where Greenfield Central will take formation.
Yeah, that previous snap just looked a little bit low for Dallas Freeman. He was pretty close to the snapper, but that one did go
Freeman
backwards.
Looks to throw on 3rd down, fires over, and it's picked off. Picked off by the Arabians, and it's going the other way. Pendleton Heights with yet another first turnover, and just like that, Pendleton Heights will take over yet again deep in Greenfield Central territory.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd interception of tonight, I believe. Maybe even the 3rd, Dawson.
Yeah, looks like it was Ryan Kiesling, the sophomore, on the interception. And yet another first turnover by the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Isaac Wilson will take the field once again for this time this evening, and looks like, to be specific, that ball will be on the 18-yard line.
Yeah. On the previous interception, we saw Eli Arthur, almost run that one back, and it looks like the same here. They weren't nearly as deep downfield, but almost on the same spot on the field.
Back-to-back huge defensive possessions for the Arabians, as now Isaac Wilson will pitch it off to the left side. Nate DeRolf has blockers. He'll head down the left sideline. He'll be taken out of bounds, but not before a very solid carry on first down of about 9 yards. It brings up 2nd and short for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Again, that was Isaac Wilson who got the snap. He looked like he started heading to the right field, but then he flipped it over to Nate DeRolf, who reversed it to the left. And it was could have been dangerous for the Cougars, but luckily for Greenfield Central, he pushed him out of bounds before doing too much damage.
Yeah, there was 2 blockers downfield blocking the people ahead of the runner, but it looks like someone from the line just slipped out and again pushed him out of bounds before any further damage.
Wilson shotgun, trips out right. Wilson will look to throw, and he is sacked. That'll be going backwards here for the Arabians. That'll be Jacob on the sack there. Brings up 3rd down for Pendleton Heights.
Yeah, before that last play, we saw quarterback Isaac Wilson dodge one, made him miss, and then just tried to slip through a little bit more, but pressure got to him. Sacked on that play.
Yeah, that was Jake Van Ostel on the sack. It'll be his first sack of the season. He has 2 tackles for loss, but was still searching for that first sack. So 21-8 is our score. Pendleton Heights with the lead. 3 minutes, 22 left to play in the first half. Isaac Wilson shotgun. Looks like he'll keep it himself, trying to find a hole through the middle, but can't go anywhere with it. Looks like he will lose about 1 yard there on 3rd down, and with that, 4th and 7 for the Pendleton Heights Arabians from the Greenfield Central 15, and it looks like the Arabians are going to bring out Dominic Apo to attempt the about 33-yard field goal or so. Dominic Apo had 2 field goals in their last game against Newcastle, knocked them both through the uprights. This one, decent distance for high school, though. Here's the hold, the kick, and this one is good with plenty of room to spare. So just like that, Pendleton Heights will push their lead even further. 24-8 is our score now. Again, Pendleton Heights with the lead with 2 minutes, 37 seconds to play in the first half. But be sure to check out the PHHS daily announcements anytime on 917 WEEM.org or wherever podcasts can be found. Keep up to date with what's going on in and around Pendleton Heights High School with the PHHS daily announcements, wherever podcasts can be found. But Taking a look at that drive by Pendleton Heights, of course, we saw an interception by Ryan Kiesling that set up Pendleton Heights, set up their offense in great field positioning. They took over just around that 15-yard line. And then after a couple of plays there that went backwards, we saw a sack, we saw a tackle for loss for Pendleton Heights. They had to settle with the field goal, but I mean, I think heading into this game, I knew it would be close. I knew Pendleton Heights had the chance to keep with Greenfield Central, but if you told me it'd be 24-8 heading into the halftime, or at least heading into the end of the first half, I wouldn't believe you. So I think Pendleton Heights so far this game has just been incredible, especially their defense. I mean, 2 turnovers, 2 great turnovers on top of that has set them up for very, very solid success.
Yeah, and even a forced fumble on Dallas Freeman, who before this game didn't have a fumble on the year, so the Arabian defense definitely shutting down the Cougar offense.
Dominic Apo here for the kickoff. Of course, that last kickoff we saw just about a minute and a half ago. He pinned that in that back left corner. He'll try it again. This one will be fielded around the 10, just around mid or center field. This one, it looks like, will be saved here by Kirkconnett. He'll be tackled around the 30-yard line there, so that's where Greenfield Central will take the field once again this evening, as Dallas Freeman, quarterback for the Greenfield Central Cougars, he hasn't had the best night, especially this first half. I mean, you had an interception on that last drive, then the drive before that, a fumble. Really, both of those turnovers resulted in Pendleton Heights score, one of them being a touchdown, the other being a field goal. So Dallas Freeman, a lot of room for improvement, not only in the second half, but also, I mean, 2.5 minutes left in this first half. There's still plenty of time to get down the field.
Yeah, and just a quick note, pregame, I did mention that if the Arabians did pressure quarterback Dallas Freeman, I think that they could shut down the offense, and they are for sure doing so far in the first half.
After a 5-yard carry there on first down, brings up 2nd and 5 as Freeman will line up under center once again. We'll get a handoff up the middle for the Cougars. This one going for just about 2 or 3 yards on second down, brings up 3rd and short. That was Eli Libler with the tackle.
Yeah, before the Greenfield Central Cougars, they have been running the ball quite a lot tonight. This year, and more specifically, we have seen them pass more, but
get a carry here on 3rd down. This one going nowhere. It'll be a gain of just about a yard. Brings up 4th and very, very short. 4th and just about a yard, and Greenfield Central met with a decision. And I think you're down on the scoreboard. I mean, it's a risky play, but sure enough, it looks like they are going to stay on the field and try to convert this football. Wishbone formation, Freeman under center. They'll get the first down as well as a little bit more. That was Jake Hinton, the senior, getting the first down. He was tackled just shy of the 50-yard line. So new set of downs here for Greenfield Central once again in that wishbone formation. This carry up the middle by Cooper Hinton this time. This one going for just about 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I would say definitely was a good decision for the Cougars to go for it there on 4th down. And now with just a minute under before the second half, Greenfield has a chance to score here.
Wishbone. Greenfield Central will get a carry here once again. This one going for just about a yard. Brings up 3rd down. Well, so we might get a timeout here. Sure enough, a timeout by Greenfield Central. They want to stop the clock. Of course, now only 38.7 seconds to play in the first half. And although I think it is a smart play for the Cougars just running the football here with, of course, they started the drive with just about 2.5 minutes on the clock, but now just about 30 seconds. So, of course, Greenfield Central, again, it's a smart play running the football. You don't want to try anything too disastrous, but at the same time, I mean, that clock is ticking down, and you want to get down the field and score, and if you just keep on running the football, you might not be able to do that. And for Pendleton Heights defense, I mean, they're doing a great job locking it up, especially here in these last couple of drives.
Yeah, and with only 30 seconds left, I would expect them to pass the ball here. As you were saying, our defense is shutting down the running game pretty well, so with a chance to score, I think Greenfield should just take that shot.
So 3rd down now for Greenfield Central. Dallas Freeman will line up under center. A tight formation for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Looks like they'll fake the handoff up the middle, instead go to that left outside. It's Cooper Hinton with the very solid carry on third down. He'll be tackled all the way up around the Arabian 30-yard line. So a gain of about 20 yards on third. New set of downs for the Cougars now, deep inside Pendleton Heights territory. But again, that clock remains ticking. Now under 30 seconds to play. Once again, we'll get a run here. It looks like Freeman will keep it himself up the middle. This one will go for about 4 yards on first, brings up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, 17 seconds on the clock, and on that last play, we did see the Pendleton defenders try to just knock that ball out a little bit. You could say they're definitely turnover hungry tonight, and it has worked on their side, seeing even 3 turnovers for the Greenfield Central Cougars in this game tonight so far.
Yeah, but Aaron Lee for the Greenfield Central Cougars, their kicker, he has had a field goal on the year, so a field goal not out of question here. Of course, you're on the 27 here, 17.2 seconds to play, but with that, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Broadcasting from the WEEM studios, underwritten by Community Hospital Anderson, this is the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM Pendleton.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
24-8 is our score here. Pendleton Heights with the lead on the Arabian Sports Network. 17.2 seconds to play. Greenfield Central currently with possession of the football. 2nd and 7 from the Pendleton Heights 27-yard line. Freeman shotgun. He'll look to throw here on 2nd down. Fires across the middle. It's caught by his receiver there, Kurt Cannett. Greenfield Central wants to hurry up here and get this ball snapped. The clock's not moving. It's still stuck on 11.2, and they're going to snap the ball. The clock finally got going there, but again, that clock just wasn't moving. They're going to spike it, so the clock stops. So it looks like now just 7.2, at least, is what the scoreboard shows. And that might be what time we'll be looking at here. For Greenfield Central, Aiden, I think with your situation, I mean, you're down big. Do you think you go for the big play and the touchdown, or do you think you settle with a field goal?
I mean, they do get the ball back after halftime, so I think either way, obviously you would want to take the points, but if you're risky enough to go for the touchdown, if you do get the ball back, I don't think it can hurt you that much. So I think we should expect Greenfield to go for it here.
The clock will be pushed up to 9.1 seconds on the scoreboard. Freeman will look to throw. Doesn't see much. Steps up. Throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown for Greenfield Central. It looks like that was the tight end Kirk Cannett, if I'm correct, there in that end zone. Scratch, that's Lane Waddle, I do believe, or Waddle, in the end zone. So Greenfield Central went with the risk. It worked out. They got into the end zone. Going to shorten down this lead now 24-14 before the 2-point conversion. Well, it looks like, of course, Greenfield Central will try to attempt here. Got a timeout by the Pendleton Heights Arabians. They didn't like what they were seeing on that defensive end, so I think it was a very smart play to shoot for the end zone. I mean, the worst case scenario, you drop it, the clock stops, and you can take your field goal, or you can try again. So I think that was the smart play, but again, it worked out. And Lane Waddle, he's committed over there to Georgia Tech. He's going to go over to play D1 football as a tight end. He's a great tight end. I mean, 6'5", 240, that's a perfect build, and that's sure enough. He has had a touchdown. Heading into this game, he had 2 receptions, 19 yards, and a touchdown, and that'll be his 2nd on the season. So I think now for Pendleton Heights, hopefully you can stop this 2-point conversion and keep this a 2-possession game, because, of course, say they get this lead is now only 8 points. If they don't, it's a 10-point ball game. So this is a huge 2-point conversion for really both teams.
Yeah, and Lane Whittle there, after Dallas Freeman did run out of the pocket, he ran to the right side but caught Whittle on the left as he did leak backwards, got away from his man for the touchdown there.
So here is the Greenfield Central Cougars. Freeman under center, attempting the 2-point conversion. We'll get a pitch here to the right side, and looks like the carrier will run his way into the end zone, so the 2-point conversion is good. And Greenfield Central will cut down this lead now 24-16 with just 3.1 seconds to play in the first half. And that is a huge drive for Greenfield Central. Again, just recapping. Before this drive, we saw 2 back-to-back turnovers by Greenfield Central. The first on a fumble, then following that, an interception. So I think it was a much-needed, huge drive for Greenfield Central. And sure enough, they got together a good one. They had a nice job with clock control, and they put on 8 points on the board. And of course, as you mentioned, and they're going to get the ball at halftime.
Yeah.
So the Arabians, they start to slow down. They could be losing on the scoreboard just like that.
And I think with them getting the ball back at halftime, I think that's also why they went with a 2-point conversion there. Couldn't really hurt them as much. And for the Arabians, returning this punt, I think the only damage they could do with 3.1 seconds remaining is if they run it home. I mean, it could magically happen, but we will see here on this punt.
Yeah, Greenfield Central, for your kickoff unit, you got to remember that this clock isn't quite, we're not quite to halftime, and there's still a chance for the kickoff return. So got to make sure you get your man and eventually get to the returner. By the way, back there returning for Pendletonites, that is Clinton Miller and Keaton Jones. This one will just be a short squib kick. Clock does show 000, and the Arabian return man will go down. So with that, that'll do it for our first half. Pendleton Heights with the lead, 24-16. Pendleton Heights with a very solid first half performance. We'll recap it here soon, but until then, we will take a quick break. When we come back, Ryan Davis was able to sit down with the Photography Club sponsor, Mr. Carpenter, for our halftime interview on the Arabian Sports Network halftime show, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
We welcome you here to the Arabian Sports Network halftime interview. I'm Ryan Davis, and joining me is Mr. Carpenter of the Photography Club. So starting off, could you quickly break down what exactly the photography club is?
Yeah, the Photography Club is just kind of a study of various types of photographic techniques and processes. We go through like different lighting scenarios and really kind of whatever the students are interested in, we'll kind of cover. I've been involved in photography for 20 plus years. So my wife and I run a business, and it just kind of depends on what they want to do. And then I'll throw my expertise on top of that.
So what does a regular meeting look like for photography club?
Yeah, typical meeting. We usually meet about every 2 weeks for about an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer. And the nature of the meeting could be lots of different things. It could be a meeting down at the park, taking different photos of different subjects. It could be in my room in 112 here at the high school, exploring some kind of photography technique. Light painting has been kind of a favorite one, which is kind of fun. So, yeah, it's pretty casual, pretty relaxed. And then we just kind of jump into what the students want to do. So what would you say the students enjoy the most about the club? I think one of the things they enjoy the most is the fact that it's just a relaxed environment. We don't fundraise or anything like that. We kind of come in, talk about photos, socialize a little bit, and then learn some different techniques here and there. So recently you guys were at the cross country meet. What does that process look like when taking photos at that event like that? Well, it's been interesting this year. One of the new developments is that some of the group members have decided to start making their way out to some of the different events that we have going on, like sporting events and like band and things like that, and taking some photos. So it's actually kind of evolving as we speak. So some of the members just kind of hop out there. They use their own camera equipment and try to find the best angles, and then they do share the images. So if anybody's looking for an event to be covered, if they're available, then I think they'd be willing to do that.
So how long has the club been around, and why did you personally want to take the directing role?
Well, the club, as far as I know, has been around just since last year. Parker Klein came up to me and asked if I would be willing to sponsor the group, and I said yes. And the reason I said yes is because one of the things that I found awesome about photography was like there's endless flexibility. Like it's always changing, and the subject matter is pretty much limitless.
So where have you seen the most growth with the photographers since the club start?
I think the most growth I've seen is the outreach towards the community events. We started off pretty small, and then most of the events most of the meetings were held in my room, and then I've noticed this year it's been really focused on reaching out into community events, sporting events, and things like that, and kind of sharing the club on Instagram and trying to get it promoted so we can get some more members.
So you guys are you able to be found on Instagram under the handle PHHS Photography Club? How does that help promote the club?
Well, due to the limitations of not being able to, put up anything around the school, no posters or anything like that, I think the ability to promote it in a way that's going to be seen by more students, so it's going to be something that they're probably going to be more interested in. That it's huge. I know we've seen a lot of traffic from what I understand. So the word's getting out. So that's good.
So one last question here. If anyone is interested in joining the club, how might they be able to do so?
A couple different ways. I would say if they want to join, if they're interested, just have them swing by my room 112. Another way would just be to send a message to the Instagram account, and somebody will get back to you pretty quickly. And one of the members is currently working on a website. And so once that's up, then I think there will be the ability to just kind of have a chat on that. So there's a few different ways. Yep.
So that will do it for this halftime interview. This is the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
is a huge part of our lives. From programming to social media to podcast to sports, our student-run radio station is dedicated to informing and entertaining everyone in and around our campus. We're with you every step of the day, whether it be in your car, in class, at lunch, or at work. We're here to provide you with the local news and the best songs. Experience the full impact of radio today by tuning in to 91.7 WEEM. To learn more, go to our website at 917weem.org. We're here for our community.
Whether you are on a run, in your car, or at work, you can listen to us live. Go to the App Store today and download our app on your Android or iPhone for free. Listen today here on 91.7 WEEM.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network halftime show, 91.7 WEEM. But we just got about a minute until the second half kicks off. So with that, we'll just quickly review that, look ahead on the schedules for both Pendleton Heights and Greenfield Central. For Pendleton Heights, their next game will be on the road against New Pal. Then following that, Mount Vernon. So back-to-back road games against very, very tough teams. Of course, we were mentioning there in our previous first half recap, the looking around the Hoosier Heritage Conference. New Pal, Mount Vernon last year, they were the top two teams in the conference. That'll be tough. And then for Greenfield Central, their next two games will be at home. First against Shelbyville, the Golden Bears on the 15th, and then following that against New Pal, the Dragons on the 22nd. But Greenfield Central will kick this ball away here starting off the second half as Jacob Rowley and Clint Miller are back there to return for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Kickoff, this one will be fielded just past the 10-yard line by Clint Miller. This one will be spin out there, nearly had a hole. Saw a couple of Arabian fans jump up. Had a chance for a return, but he was taken down there. It looks like just shy of that 35-yard line on the 34. And that's where Isaac Wilson and company will take over for the first time of the second half.
Yeah, and that punt return, he did get a gap, but it looks like he bumped into his own, blocker there. Didn't get too far after the contact, but an extra 2 yards after that first initial contact there on the return.
First and 10 for the Arabians on their own 34-yard line. Wilson will be lining up shotgun with trips out left. We'll get a handoff here on first down. Keaton Jones will get it up the middle. He got a solid 10-yard carry. Keaton Jones, again, just so much explosive speed in that kid. So with that first down, Arabians will set up first and 10 now from their own 45.
Yeah, and Keaton Jones, he does have 2 touchdowns on the year. Hasn't seen too many touches in this game, but against a tough opponent like Greenfield Central, I'm sure in the second half, once they get more comfortable, we will see him just a little bit more.
Wilson shotgun, trips out right. He'll look to throw, fires over to the right side. That's Nate DeRolf on the reception. It's going to be blown up there. It was an attempted wide receiver screen, or at least a very short route, and Greenfield Central, nice job on their defensive backs, reading that play quickly, getting hit to him before he can get a single yard there. So gain of 0 yards on the reception from Nate DeRolf will bring up second and 10.
Yeah, and we saw some linemen there for Greenfield on the defensive side just try to rush that quarterback, swat that pass down, but it was completed just for a couple yards, and there is a flag thrown here.
And my guess is going to be on Greenfield Central, and sure enough, It is just offsides. Pendleton Heights got him on the hard snap, so that'll bring up Pendleton Heights 5 yards. So now second and 5 for the Arabians.
Getting a little discount there on their second try.
So ball now on midfield. Again, second and 5 as Isaac Wilson will line up. Spread formation. Bow surface to the left of him. Isaac Wilson looks downfield. It's caught. Nate DeRolf on the right sideline. Hauled in at the 20-yard line. He'll be taken down just shy of the 10. And Pendleton Heights on a huge reception by the junior Nate DeRolf will set them up in the red zone first and 10.
Yeah, and we saw 2 receivers on both sides there for quarterback Isaac Wilson. Looks like he knew what he wanted to do there, but just was waiting for the receiver to get open. And luckily for Nate DeRolf, he did get away from his defender, earlier scoring a touchdown, and this time getting the Arabians back in the red zone.
First and 10, Wilson shotgun. He'll hand it off here to Keaton Jones, and Keaton Jones to the left side of the field. He walks into the end zone. Pendleton Heights touchdown.
And I was just mentioning earlier, Keaton Jones, he does have 2 touchdowns on the year, and there goes his third one. That speed just pushing him all the way over to that left side. And here he goes, coming back to the sideline, getting hype as usual.
Yeah, Keaton Jones, the junior, entering this evening's game. He had 18 carries, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as Aiden was just mentioning. That'll be his third on a 15-yard carry to the left side. And Pendleton Heights jumping out to a very solid start in this second half, pushing their lead now 30-16 as Dominic Apo in the extra point unit will take the field to hopefully knock in yet another Dom bomb. But actually, we might be looking at a penalty. I'm not entirely sure. Either way. Again, Dominic Poe lining up here from the 10-yard line. It looks like he just got pushed back 5 yards on a penalty. Not sure what that was. Here's the hold, the kick. It is good. Dominic Poe with yet another PAT. He remains perfect on the season. Pendleton Heights pushing their lead now 31-16 with 10 minutes, 14 to play in the third quarter. We will take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
This presentation of the Arabian Sports Network is underwritten by Citizens State Bank.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome you back here to the Arabian Sports Network on 91.7 WEEM. Score 31-16. Pendleton Heights with the lead. Just over 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. We just saw a rushing touchdown from the junior Keaton Jones, a 15-yard rushing touchdown to the left side that pushed Pendleton Heights to extend their lead now to a 15-point lead. Now it's Dominic Apo in the kickoff unit for the Arabians to kick this one back deep to the Greenfield Central Cougars. This one looks like will bounce out of bounds, just barely miss that end zone. Yeah. Very close to a touchback, but unfortunately for the Arabians, it will roll out of bounds on just really about the 2-yard line. So with that, that'll of course be a penalty flag, and that'll set up Greenfield Central at the 35-yard line. And for Greenfield Central on the offensive side of things in that first half, you had 2 turnovers, 1 on a fumble, 1 on an interception, but you got in for 2 touchdowns on top of that and 2 2-point conversions. So Greenfield Central, I mean, there's potential there on the offense tonight. They just gotta really find it. But Freeman will line up under center, tight formation for the Cougars here on first. We got a jet sweep to the right side, and he's got room. It's Jake Hinton on the right sideline. He crosses into Arabian territory before being wrapped up just shy of the Pendleton Heights 40. Jake Hinton, again, that was a jet sweep left to the right side of the field, and after some broken tackles, Hinton and the Cougars able to reach into Pendleton Heights territory, new set of downs.
Yeah, and just as the Cougars need a little bit of momentum, we saw Jake Hinton spark that there for the Cougars.
We got yet another carry outside to the right side of the field. This one not going to be around the same success. Just about a gain of 3 or 4 yards on first, brings up 2nd and 7.
Just a short run there.
So 2nd and 7 now from the Arabians 30. Dallas Freeman under center. Man in motion, left to right. We'll get a handoff here up the middle. This one will go for about 6 yards. Bringing up the third and very short. That was Braylon Bivente with the carry once again. He had a large majority of the workload on the running side of things, for Greenfield Central there in that first half. But now 3rd and 1. Dallas Freeman under center. Looks like we'll hand it off here to his running back for a very, very solid carry on 3rd down. That'll be a first down and a bit more. past the 30-yard line. He'll be tackled on the 39, so that's where Greenfield Central will set up 1st and 10.
Yeah, Greenfield Central quite easily is getting down the field here on this drive. They do need to score here if they want to stay alive in this game.
We got a carry here out to the right. Once again, a big hole for the Greenfield Central carry. That was Jake Hinton that time on the running play. And once again, that'll be a 1st down, so Cougars going to move the chains. Looks like he was tackled at the Pendletonites 16-yard line. Score 31-16. Pendletonites with the score. 8 minutes, 30 to play in the 3rd quarter. Freeman under center, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We'll get a handoff here up the middle by the Cougars once again. This one will go for just about 5 yards or so on first. That was Braylon Bavinte, the sophomore, once again. Brings up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, just a quick pitch. And for Braylon Benavente, I think his favorite run is just up through the middle. And there he goes again for the 4-yard gain.
Yeah, he's 5'7", 190, so not necessarily their biggest running back. You look at Jake Hinton, 6'4", 205, so that's the guy you usually expect to be getting those up-the-middle carries, but Bavinte, with a lot of that leg power, he's been getting a majority of those. We'll get another carry up the middle here for Greenfield Central. This one for yet another 1st down. It's Benavente with the about 12-yard carry or so. He's tackled just shy of the goal line on about the 4-yard line or so, and that's where Greenfield Central is set up, hopefully to score here. Looking for a run-type formation, and this time it's blown up by Pendleton Heights. A nice ankle tackle. There's Jake Hinton with the tackle. That was Nick Trout with the tackle for loss, so that'll bring back the Cougars just about a yard or two. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and before this play, it looked like they found the key to their running game just before the second half. They didn't really have much success, but
got a carry here by Benavente, it looks like, and once again, he will just be about a yard short, so 3rd and goal once again from the 1-yard line.
And earlier in the game, we did see them hand it off to Braylon Benavente for the touchdown, so maybe we'll see the same here.
It will indeed be a handoff, but once again, it looks like he did not get into that end zone, and Pendleton Heights with a very solid goal line stand. Here now, 4th and goal. Wait, maybe take that back. That might be a touchdown. I think they did indeed call it a touchdown, if I'm correct. Yeah, that will be a touchdown. Sorry about that. So, sure enough, Greenfield Central did get in on that last play there. It was a close call. It was definitely a close one. Even from up here, you could tell that both teams thought maybe he didn't get in. But sure enough, the carrier there for the Greenfield Central Cougars, I think it was Braylon Benavente on the goal line carry, just broke that plains there for the touchdown. We'll get another 2-point try here for the Cougars. This one is once again going to be a close call. A lot of bodies around that ball. Ref still yet to give the signal. Going to pull off some bodies. And the conversion is no good, and that is huge for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. If that conversion was good, hypothetically, it would have been a 7-point ball game, but it's not good, so now it's a 9-point ball game. So that's a 1-point. That's a 1-possession game compared to a 2-possession game. So huge stop there for Pendleton Heights, and with that, the score will stay 31-22. Again, Pendleton Heights with the lead. So we will take another quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
This presentation of the Arabian Sports Network is brought to you by...
Welcome to the Arabian Roundup with your host, Kennedy Quinn and Bella Myers. The Arabian Roundup is here every Tuesday through Friday from 5 to 7 a.m. The show rounds up your morning thoughts as they discuss the craziest of topics. From dad jokes to the latest Taylor Swift songs, the Arabian Roundup is here to perk up your mornings here on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to Pendleton Heights High School on the Arabian Sports Network. Pendleton Heights currently with the lead 31-22 as we have an onside kick try here for Greenfield Central, and they might get that football. Ref still to give the signal, and it looks like that will be Greenfield Central football. The Cougars catching the Pendleton Heights Arabians off guard here, and just like that, Dallas Freeman and company will take the field after a surprising onside kick attempt, and that is why might be exactly what the Cougars needed now. Again, Pendleton Heights leading by 9. Refs, it looks like they're talking it over. Still yet to give the signal. As of now, Greenfield Central's offense is out there as well as Pendleton Heights' defense, so
yeah.
I'm guessing this is going to be Greenfield Central ball. Sure enough, the refs will give it to the Cougars. So 1st and 10 now. Ball's going to be on the 49-yard line. 31-22 is our score. 6 minutes, 45 left to play in the third quarter. Got a run here up the middle. This one going to go for about 4 yards on first down. Brings up 2nd and 5 for the Greenfield Central Cougars.
Yeah, we saw them run that ball just straight up the middle. 6 minutes here in the third quarter as they get that ball straight back after the onside kick.
2nd and 5 now. Got yet another run here for Greenfield. This one will be blown up. A good read by the Pendleton Heights defense will make Greenfield Central going nowhere with that run. Tackle for a loss, in fact. Brings up 3rd and 6 from the Pendleton Heights 48-yard line.
Yeah.
Test here for the Cougars on 3rd.
Yeah, and we saw quarterback Dallas Freeman keep that ball for himself yet again, which he has done quite a lot so far tonight. In that time, it just bites him straight back for the loss of yardage.
Wishbone formation here for Greenfield Central. Looks like we're going to carry up the middle. This one will go for about 3 yards or so. Brings up 4th down. And it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever if Greenfield Central will stay on the field here. Considering they're around that midfield area, and again, you're down on the scoreboard. 2 scores. I think going to have to make a move, and sure enough, they'll go for it here. Freeman, wishbone formation, handed off. We have a flag on the play. It looks like they might have been short, but again, a flag is on the play. This might have been pre-snap, in fact.
Yeah.
It will be on Greenfield Central, so Cougars might have to rethink this decision here, or maybe a timeout. I'm not a flag, yeah, but sure enough, there will be a timeout here, so 4th and 2. Greenfield Central calls the timeout. But bring our music and Arabian sports everywhere you go by downloading our app on your phone. Whether you are on the run, in your car, or at work, listen to us live. Go to the App Store today and download our app on your Android or iPhone for free. Listen here today on 91.7 WEEM. But, of course, for Pendleton Heights so far in this second half, we saw an early score on that first drive for the Arabians, but then Greenfield Central responded rather quickly with a score of their own. Now Greenfield Central with the ball, but trailing the Arabians 31-22, 5:18 left to play in the third. 4th and 2 is what it's going to be counted with. So sure enough, it looks like there was no flag on that previous play. Wishbone formation for the Cougars. They'll run it up the middle, and they will get it. And about 5 yards on top of that. So first down for the Cougars now just past the Arabians' 40-yard line now.
Yeah, and on that first attempt to get the completion on 4th down, they were short, but as they get that play right back for themselves, they do convert that first down with the run right up the middle.
Cougars wasting no time getting to the line of scrimmage. Once again, we'll get a wishbone formation. This run will be up the middle. This one will be Braylon Benavente with the run. This one will be about a 9-yard carry on first. Brings up 2nd and short.
Yeah, and you could definitely say Greenfield has figured out their running game in the first half. They couldn't really get anything going, but here in the second half, we've already seen a touchdown
Yet another run by Greenfield Central, this one up the middle as well. This will be enough for a first down, so new set of downs now for the Cougars, but 31-22 is our score. 4 minutes, 32 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Currently, Greenfield Central with possession of the football. 1st and 10 with 29 on the Arabians' 29-yard line. So Freeman under center now. Running back behind him as well as wide receiver on both sides. We got a pre-snap penalty on the play here.
Yeah, it looks like number 34, Lane Wadle, motioned from right to left and just stepped over the line of scrimmage there. Not too sure, but up here, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, we do indeed have a false start here on Greenfield Central. This will push them back about 5 yards now. 1st and 15 is where they'll be at now.
Yeah.
But for Pendleton Heights, we were looking forward on the schedule there right before the kickoff to the second half. They got back-to-back road games after this, the first against New Pal and the second against Mount Vernon. Both of those matchups highly anticipated. Again, those two teams were on top of the Hoosier Heritage leaderboards at the end of last season. But Freeman will look to throw here on 1st and 15, and he'll be thrown down to the turf. A nice sack there by the Arabians on 1st and 15 to push back the Cougars even further now. About 2nd and 20 is what they're counted. That's Dresden Roberts with the sack.
Yeah, for the Arabians defense, they are doing a great job at containing the quarterback, but I think to stay positive in this game, their running defense, as we see the Greenfield Cougars just, spark it up a little bit, get a little bit more yardage on their runs, I think we could stuff the box just a little bit more here on defense to stay comfortable at least.
Roberts now up to 1.5 sacks on the evening. He headed into this game with 4 sacks on the season. That leads the Arabians. We got a quick out route here by Greenfield Central. This one, the ball is out. It looks like the ball carrier was able to pick that football back up. That was, I think, Cooper Hinton. That was Cooper Hinton, the sophomore running back on the reception on the out route. Again, he lost that football, and fortunately for Greenfield Central, he was able to fall back onto it. So 3rd and 13 now for the Cougars. Pendleton Heights defense looks like we'll line up 3-3 here. Freeman drops back to throw. Fires across the middle. Looks deep. It's caught. Caught by Kurt Kinnett, and Kurt Kinnett is into the end zone. Touchdown, Greenfield Central. A 29-yard passing touchdown on 3rd and 13 will give Greenfield Central 6 points on the scoreboard. And on those third downs, you got to watch for the deep ball. A lot of times, defenders will make sure you have everything short covered because, respectively, that's what you're going to be looking for. But Kurt Kinnett was just able to slip through those safeties and get in for the touchdown score. Once again, now 31-28 is now, looks like for the first time tonight, Greenfield Central will send out the extra point unit to try to knock in an extra point. That is Aaron Lee, the kicker. He's 16 for 20 on PATs on the season. This one will be good. So score now 31-29. Pendleton Heights remains on top. 2 minutes, 47 left to play in the third quarter. But for Pendleton Heights, he had a solid drive there defensively, some bright spots. You saw a sack there by Dresden Roberts, nearly fumble recovery. You had a forced fumble, but fortunately for Greenfield Central, the ball carrier Cooper Hinton was able to fall back on that. And then there, of course, on 3rd and 13, junior quarterback Dallas Freeman was able to find his receiver Kurt Kinnett, the kick returner for the Cougars, in the back of the end zone for the receiving touchdown. So now for Pendleton Heights, you're back on offense, and I think just considering how you've been playing so far in this one, I think you just stick to what you're doing. Of course, you have 31 points on the scoreboard. Your last drive resulted in a touchdown, so again, I think you just try to keep on doing what you're doing, and I think that is really just a mix of run and pass. We've been seeing a lot of creative plays so far this evening for Pendleton Heights. We've seen a couple formations, including Colton Frank at quarterback, Isaac Wilson at wide receiver, even somewhere Isaac Wilson's the running back. So I think you just keep up stuff like that because obviously it's catching Greenfield Central off guard. They definitely weren't expecting formations like that heading into this evening's game. Kickoff here, going to be fielded around the 10-yard line. by Clint Miller. Miller has a hole. He's at the 50-yard line. He's across midfield. At the 40, he'll be taken by the ankles. At the 35, a huge return by Clint Miller, setting up the Arabians in Cougar territory. Pushed out of bounds at the 34, and that's where Isaac Wilson and company will start off their drive here. 2 minutes, 36 left to play in the third.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Arabians needed there on offense. We saw just on the last drive, they let the Cougars score, melting down the clock just a little bit. It was kind of getting to a nail-biter situation, but with that good return, we are in good field position to score here just before the fourth quarter.
Wilson shotgun, 2 wide receivers out left. Play's going to be called off, waved off here by the ref. We saw, I'm guessing, as a pre-snap penalty. Yeah. Not sure exactly who this is going to be on. It looks like it will be on. That's on Pendleton Heights, if I am correct. And sure enough, that will. Oh wait, no, scratch that. I think the ball's just going to stay where it's at. Yeah, 1st and 10 for Pendleton Heights. I'm not sure exactly why the refs waved that play off, but either way, Arabians will remain here. 1st and 10 on the 34. Colton Frank lines up shotgun, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right with Bo Surface to the right of him. Nate Gerolf in motion, left to right. We'll get a handoff here to Bo Surface, and this play is going to be blown up. A loss of about a yard on first down brings up 2nd and 11 for the Arabians.
Yeah, and we see number 5, Zach Blevins, the defensive end there for Greenfield, just rushing in to the pocket, blowing up our run play there. We saw him earlier get a sack for loss of yardage, so he's definitely aggressive there on the defensive end.
2nd and 11 now from the Arabians from the Cougars, the Cougars 35-yard line. The Arabians line up. Wilson, shotgun. He'll look to throw on 2nd down, fires across the middle, and it is incomplete. Nearly picked off. A bit of a scare there, as that was in the hands of the Greenfield Central defensive back, but I guess you could say fortunately for the Arabians, that's incomplete. Going to be saved from the turnover. So with that, 3rd and 11 now. Again, Isaac Wilson, take a look at his stats on the season. Still's yet to give up an interception, so that's obviously very, very solid. Don't want to break that streak now, especially in great field positioning on the 35.
Yeah, and Isaac Wilson on that last play, he stepped back in the pocket, and it looks like he just got too much pressure on him. Eventually threw that ball just to a receiver that looked open. Threw right into coverage, though, right down the middle. And luckily that ball was dropped by the Arabian receiver and almost the Greenfield defender. Looks like he had his fingertips on it, but didn't get a secure.
We'll get a timeout here for Pendleton Heights. Scoreboard 31-29. Just under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. We'll stay right here, though. Of course, Pendleton Heights, solid field positioning. You're at the 35. I think at this point, you're 3rd and 11. I mean, you got to be looking deep. I mean, I think, you might want to go with the run, take the easy play, maybe get in for the field goal, but I think you might as well try to fire downfield, especially how successful the passing game has been so far in this one. So we'll see what the Arabians do here on this one, as Isaac Wilson will line up shotgun spread formation. 2 wide receivers on both the left and the right. Wilson looks to throw, fires over there to the left side of the field. It looks like that is incomplete. It was in the hands of, I think that's Drake Stevens. Sure enough, that is Drake Stevens out there on the left side of the field, nearly caught. It was great timing by Isaac Wilson. He really put that ball exactly where he wanted it at the perfect time. But again, Drake Stevens just unable to pull away with that grab. So 4th and 11 now. Looks like Isaac Wilson will stay out on the field here. Pendleton Heights might be going for it, so we'll see. Or they could be just trying to get Greenfield Central off sides to set up an easier fourth down, or maybe set Pendleton Heights in field positioning. We'll see. Shotgun spread formation for Wilson. He will, sure enough, look to throw. Fires over to the right side of the field. It is incomplete. Once again, that's Drake Stevens with the drop. He had it in his palms. That would have been huge for the Arabians, but unfortunately, that one just slipping through once again the hands of Drake Stevens. So with that, Greenfield Central will take over 1st and 10 from their own 35, as once again Dallas Freeman will take the field.
Yeah, and for that the last 2 plays, we saw the receiver Drake Stevens on the first play. He was on the left side on that comeback type of route. Isaac Wilson threw that ball, perfect accuracy, perfect timing, but Drake Stevens just let that ball slip out of his hands. And yet again, on 4th and long, we saw it. Drake Stevens on that right side did get away from his defender, but just that ball maybe a little bit too far for him. Couldn't secure it. Greenfield ball.
Freeman under center here on 1st down. We'll see the wide receiver screen to the right side. This one will go for just about 3 yards on 1st down. Brings up 2nd down for the Greenfield Central Cougars.
Yeah, quarterback Dallas Freeman stepped back in the pocket, just threw that one out quick to the right side. I believe that was his running back with the catch, running that ball up just a couple yards.
So now 2nd and 7 for the Cougars on their own 38. Freeman will hand it off here up the middle. That's Braylon Benavente, the sophomore on the carry. Heading into this game, Benavente led the team with 54 carries. He has 258 yards on the season, as well as a touchdown. Only one touchdown, that is. He's averaging 4.8 yards a carry, and I say that stat line, that average stat line specifically, has been very similar here this evening. I think he is averaging around 5 yards a carry, is my guess. Freeman here, shotgun, will hand it off once again up the middle. This one looks like will be enough for the 1st down. Ball carrier tackled at just about the 45-yard line. Once again, that'll be a new set of downs for the Greenfield Central Cougars.
Yeah, in pregame, I did mention that Braylon Benavente, the running back for the Cougars, did average around 88 yards per game, and we definitely see that here. Definitely their number one option in the running game.
Now just under 30 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Freeman, shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers out left. Freeman drops back, steps up in the pocket, will take it himself, spins out of a tackler, dives for the 1st down, and it looks like he got it. Nice job by Dallas Freeman, absorbing the contact and getting enough yardage for the 1st. Now into Arabian territory. We're on the 46-yard line. This clock's still running. Of course, it's only the 3rd quarter, so even if this clock hits 0, which it looks like it will, Greenfield Central will keep possession when we come back. So we'll take a quick break on the scoreboard. Pendleton Heights 31, Greenfield Central 29. Don't you guys go anywhere. 4th quarter up next in a very solid game so far. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Where? Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
Welcome back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM. If you're just joining us, 31-29 is our score. Pendleton Heights with the lead, but Greenfield Central currently with possession of the football. 2nd and 2 after an 8-yard carry on 1st down. Greenfield Central will line up on the Pendleton Heights 35 wishbone formation. We'll get a carry here to the left side of the field by Cooper Hinton, the sophomore. Cooper Hinton will have enough for the 1st down and a bit more. Going to cross the 30-yard line. Now tackled around the 28, so that's where Greenfield Central is set up now, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and on that last play, the Cougars only needed 2 yards there. Cooper Hinton splitting right up through the left side, getting that 1st down.
So we got a keeper here by Dallas Freeman. Freeman will march his way up there. Once again, it looks like another 1st down for the Greenfield Central Cougars. That one, again, coming on a quarterback keeper by Dallas Freeman up the middle. Ball now on the 16-yard line. Pendleton Heights' 16-yard line, that is. Freeman under center, tight formation. You got one wide receiver out there to the left side. We'll get a carry here on first down once again up the middle. This one will go for about 8 yards on first. Carry there by the sophomore Braylon Benavente. Again, 8 yards there. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, for the Arabians, I think their defense, they obviously don't want Greenfield to score here. In the fourth quarter, it would be kind of bad.
2nd and 2. Get a carry. Halfback dive by the Cougars here on 2nd down. That'll be enough for the first. And Greenfield Central now knocking on the door of Pendleton Heights in the red zone. 1st and goal from the 4.
Yep. As I was saying, I think it is best for the Arabians to just contain the run game here. We've seen them in the red zone so far. Majority of those plays are running plays, so I think it would be best for them to block that here.
Freeman under center will hand it off to that left side, and it looks like that ball carrier's into the end zone for the Greenfield Central touchdown. And just like that, for the first time since the first quarter, Greenfield Central will take the lead. Now 35-31. Here comes the extra point unit for the Cougars, and it looks like, sure enough, Greenfield Central will be going for 2 yet again, yeah. As Freeman will be here under center, wishbone formation. Pendleton Heights fill in the box. This will be a handoff here, and it looks like he did not get there. So huge play there for Pendleton Heights. He's short. So this will stay a 4-point ball game. And although I think that was the right move, because even if you missed it, this is still not really much of a difference. If you made it, it would have been a 6-point game. If you missed, 4-point game. In the game of football, those two numbers don't really have that big of a difference. They can, of course, and especially with 10 minutes left to play in the fourth, it's not like Pendleton Heights will have one last chance to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing multiple drives by both teams, but solid job there by the Greenfield Central Cougars, taking the lead now 35-31 with 10:05 left to play. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
Welcome you back here to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM on the Arabian Sports Network. Current score 35-31. We got an onside kick here by Greenfield Central once again. You can call it that. The kicker there for Greenfield Central, that was, of course, Aaron Lee just kind of kicked that ball, and that ball just bounced off of the leg of a Pendleton Heights kickoff return man, and sure enough, Greenfield Central will recover here. Again, if that ball touches any part of a Pendleton Heights player, then that's a live ball. And Greenfield Central, that kick couldn't have been any better. You just knocked that right off the ankle, right in your hands. That type of stuff is, I got to give them credit, right? It was a good play, but a lot of that is luck. And Greenfield Central got away with one there. But now 1st and 10, Cougars back on offense from the 47. We'll get a carry here from the quarterback, Dallas Freeman. It will be a carry of about 3 yards. Just like that, Pendleton Heights, you were almost in a situation where you were like, all right, we're down by 4, but we got possession, and now you're down by 4. Greenfield Central has possession, and they're in your territory, so this could be getting pretty ugly for Pendleton Heights if they don't get a stop here.
Yeah. I think if they do get a stop here, it does put them in better position, though, to, come away with the game. As if they would score on that last drive, there would be less time on the clock, but it's still unfortunate for the Arabians.
Freeman will keep it himself once again. Scratch that. He'll pitch it out there to the left side. It'll be a 1st down for the Cougars. It'll be wrapped up and brought down just around that 35-yard line. So another set of downs here as the Cougars continue to push deep into Pendleton Heights territory.
Yeah, and Greenfield Central, just yet again, we see that double pitch, a lateral play as the quarterback fakes the handoff to the running back, runs out for himself, and just, pitches it backfield to his extra running back. First down gained on that previous play.
1st and 10 here. Looks like we'll get a carry over here to the left side of the field for the Greenfield Central Cougars. But with that, we will pause 10 seconds for station identification. 35-31 is our score. Greenfield Central with the lead on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
Broadcasting from the WEEM studios, underwritten by Community Hospital Anderson, this is the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM Pendleton.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
Welcome back here to Pendleton Heights High School. Greenfield Central currently with possession of the football. 2nd and 9 here. Here we'll get a carry by Jake Hinton on 2nd down, and this will be enough for the first. So just like that, another set of downs for the Cougars as they continue to push this ball deep in Arabian territory. Now it looks like that'll be on the 23-yard line or so.
Yeah, and for the Cougars, after this second half, it looks like they have gone back to their roots. Last year, they did beat us majority to their running game, and it looks like that's what they're doing here. Run play after run play for the Cougars.
Freeman hands off up the middle. This one will go for about a yard or two on 1st down, brings up 2nd and 8. And that's exactly right, Aiden. Yeah. If you really think about it, if you just get a 3-yard carry every single play, you'll score every single drive, and I think that's the mentality of Greenfield Central here on this bottom half of the second half, right? Yeah, it's just run it every play, and if you get 3 yards a carry, which is kind of what they're averaging, you'll eventually score the football. And here on 2nd down, we'll get, looks like a quarterback keeper here by Freeman up the middle. This one will go for about 2 or 3, brings up 2nd and short, 2nd and 3, or 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 to be specific.
Yeah, especially with the clock winding down, it is kind of the smart play to just run the ball, shed some seconds off that clock, but 3rd and 3 here.
35-31 is our score here, under 7 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Got a swing out to the left side here by Greenfield Central. Looks like that was Brandon Benavente on the carry there on 3rd down. That'll be enough for the first. Another set of downs now. 1st and 10 from the Arabians 12. Greenfield Central lines up. Freeman once again under center. 2 running backs behind him. Handoff here to the right side. Breaks free, and he will be into the end zone. It's Jake Hinton getting across the plains, and with that will push this lead now 41-31. 6 minutes, 21 to play in the 4th. Pendleton Heights now trailing 10 points. And for Greenfield Central, surely you're going to go with the extra point. I don't see why you wouldn't, but looks like they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, they have...
No, they might be going for... Yeah, I'm about to say. Because if they go for the extra point, you're now by 11 points. It's a 3 or a 2-score ball game. And if you... I guess in the end, it doesn't matter.
Either way.
Yeah. Aaron Lee out there to kick the extra point. Here's the hold. And we'll get actually a fake here. Either it was a fake or they just didn't see it. And it's going to be caught, it looks like. 2-point conversion is good. That was Kurt Connett on the catch, and as Aiden was mentioning, that could affect the Arabians in the long run, but my guess is the Arabians are, you're hoping for 2 touchdowns at this point. Say they missed that would have been big, because then it would have been a 10-point ball game, but then they missed, or they got it, so now it's going to be a 12-point ball game. 43-31 is our score, 6:21 left to play in the 4th. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
At Pendleton Heights, radio is a huge part of our lives. From programming to social media to podcast to sports, our student-run radio station is dedicated to informing and entertaining everyone in and around our campus. We're with you every step of the day. Whether it be in your car, in class, at lunch, or at work, we're here to provide you with the local news and the best songs. Experience the full impact of radio today by tuning in to 91.7 WEEM. To learn more, go to our website at 917weem.org. We're here for our community.
To school
to cheer on their student athletes.
Celebrating high school sports unites us all, and that experience is essential to the pride and passion of an entire community.
Be a champion of high school sports by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events.
This is unity. This is pride. This is your IHSAA.
Back to Arabian football on 91.7 WEEM.
We welcome you back here to John Broughton Field on the Arabian Sports Network 91.7 WEEM. If you're just tuning in alongside Aiden Wilson, I'm Dawson Perrell. On the scoreboard, Greenfield Central Cougars leading the Pendletonites Arabians 43-31 with 6:15 left to play in the fourth, as Colton Frank will come in as quarterback here. We haven't seen him line up as the QB really since that first half, so looks like Pendleton Heights will give that formation a try yet again. Isaac Wilson, the starter quarterback for Pendleton Heights, will line up directly behind Colton as the running back, or to his left, as Colton Frank will line up shotgun spread formation. He looks to throw, fires over the middle. It's caught by Pendleton Heights into Cougar territory across midfield. I think that's Drake Stevens. Yeah, Drake Stevens, the senior, on the catch there. He was tackled on the 35, so new set of downs for the Arabians. I mean, this game ain't over. Sure, you're down by 2 scores, and after back-to-back devastating drives where Greenfield Central is just pounding the rock, and that can be really demotivating, I guess the best word to put it. So Pendleton Heights kind of showing some life here, and again, this ball game isn't over. Lots of time on the clock. But Colton Frank, shotgun. Well, looks like we will get a penalty here, pre-snap.
Yeah, but on that last play, when I saw Colton Frank walk into the game, I couldn't just help but think about his 2 throwing touchdowns. And as the Arabians definitely do need some passing plays here, I think Colton Frank is the safer option, just based off tonight's stats.
Got a false start here in Pendleton Heights, so that'll push them back 5 yards now, 1st and 15. And when you're making a comeback like this, you just can't be having those penalties. Those pre-snap penalties, really, that are just mental mistakes. And sure, it's just 5 yards, but that can be completely devastating. Just 5 yards can completely change the game. So Colton Frank will now line up shotgun. Once again, he'll look to throw, fires over to the left side of the field. This one, it looks like might have been caught. No, it's incomplete. Pendleton Heights fans begging for a flag. They're not going to get one. So that's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 15 now. Once again, from the Cougar 41.
Yeah, on that last play, he did throw to his left side, and it looked like the receiver got a little bit of contact on his jersey. Just a little pull, but that flag was not called.
I think Pendleton Heights was wanting that really because the Cougar cornerback didn't really turn around. He just kind of put his hands up in the air and made a lot of contact with the receiver. But here on 2nd and 15, we got a throw here to the left sidelines. Caden Sims is the intended receiver, but an overthrow by Colton Frank will result in an incompletion. Now 3rd and 15, and considering how Pendleton Heights has been handling this drive, and considering it's 3rd and 15, I think you've got to be looking deep.
Yeah.
But one thing to note, it looks like Isaac Wilson will be taking over as quarterback as Colton Frank heads to the sidelines after that overthrow.
Yeah, but for that last play, I think Colton Frank, just feeling the nerves. 3rd and 15, you're down 2 touchdowns, 12 points, 2 scores. I think, it just got to him on that play.
Wilson looks back to throw, fires deep left sideline. It is caught. Caden Sims, what a grab. Caden Sims going to haul it in on the left sideline, and he's out of bounds. It looks like he was inside the 10. I think he's going to be out of bounds on the 4-yard line, it looks like he'll be out of bounds on about the 12-yard line or so. It is inside the 10, the 8-yard line. So new set of downs for the Arabians. 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. A beautiful throw by Isaac Wilson put that ball right where he wanted it to, and Caden Sims with a beautiful tracking ability. He didn't lose the ball in the Friday Night Lights, and we're going to carry here on 1st down by Pendleton Heights. It looks like they're just short of that touchdown. Looks like that was Keaton Jones on the carry again, just a tiny bit short of the goal line. So now 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, but Keaton Jones, we know he does have a speed, so only on 2nd down, I would expect them to go to him at least one more time, and for Caden Sims, the big receiver. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like we got a offsides by Greenfield Central. He just kind of just pushed down the center. The nose tackle for Greenfield Central really just pushed down Jacob McKinley, center for Pendleton Heights. Again, that'll be offsides for Greenfield Central, so that'll be half the distance to the goal. Again, remaining 2nd and goal on the 1 yard line. I guess you could say 2nd and goal from inches away from the goal line, and that'll be a touchdown. Isaac Wilson will walk his way into the end zone. Pendleton Heights gets their score. Now trailing Greenfield Central 43-37 as out comes the extra point unit to hopefully knock in this extra point. And this is a big one. Say you miss this, it'll be a 6-point ball game compared to a 5. So this could be a big thing. But considering Dominic Apo, he hasn't missed extra points this his sophomore year. Calling off the jinx. That doesn't count.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Exactly. There we go. We got it. And sure enough, we got it. All right. 38-43 is this score now, so Pendleton Heights got the job done. They got into the end zone, and now you got to get the stop. This is the tough part in this comeback, right? With Greenfield Central's running offense, they're just taking, again, 3 yards carry after a 3-yard carry, and with the running clock, that'll just dwindle down the timer. So for Pendleton Heights, you just have to absolutely fill the box and don't let Greenfield Central just bully you like, sadly enough, they have been doing in their last couple of drives.
Yeah, and that kind of makes you question, at least for Greenfield Central, we have seen them kick the onside, punt. And I was wondering, they're only down 1 score. I know there's 5 minutes left, which isn't too much, but it isn't too little. It is kind of risky for the Arabians, but if they do want to get the ball back, I think that's something that they should consider.
I think the only reason maybe we won't see it is I think Greenfield Central might be expecting one here. Yeah. Sure enough, we do see quite a bit of white jerseys lining up close to Dominic Apo and the kickoff team for Pendleton Heights. So we'll see. I think with just under 5 minutes to play, 4 minutes, 47 seconds, I think that is time. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily going to be this your last chance to get the football. So we'll see, but I think that they could go either way. Dominic Apo will try the onside kick, and it was nearly out of the hands of Greenfield Central. That was number 11, Peyton Foley, the junior, who kind of bobbled that catch when he first made contact with it, and it was definitely a sign of light for Pendleton Heights from the bleachers, but unfortunately for the Arabians, Foley was able to, I guess you could say, recover that ball. So 1st and 10, Greenfield Central from the 46. But again, this ball game ain't over. I think for Pendleton Heights, you just got to fill that box and just lock down this run in any way you can.
We've seen Greenfield run the ball plenty of times, especially in the second half, and it's been working for them. So Dawson, I think you're right when you say if you load the box, I think you do have a good chance at getting the ball back on your side.
Arabians showing blitz. They send it. This one will be a carry up the middle for Greenfield Central. Looks like that was, once again, the sophomore Braylon Benavente on the take up the middle. This one will go for about 3 yards on 1st down, maybe 4. They're going to count it as a 3-yard carry. 2nd and 7 is what the scoreboard reads.
With under 4.5 minutes here, the run game definitely can hurt the Arabians. Have to contain that pretty well.
So 2nd and 7, as I was just mentioning, from their own 49-yard line. Freeman will line up under center. We'll get yet another take up the middle. Freeman will keep it himself and dive his way forward for about a 4-yard gain there on 2nd down. So now 3rd and short, about 3rd and 3. This is a big play here. And Freeman, just using his length there. He's 6'3", and really, Pendleton Heights had him, right? They had him at the goal line with a full box like that. They really saw him keep it, but again, with his length, all he has to do is dive forward, and boom, that's a 3-4 yard gain. So 3rd and 2 now from the Arabians 46. Cougars tight formation. Carry here up the middle, and it looks like they'll be short. 4th down is what I'm thinking. Greenfield Central says first, but sure enough, that is a 4th down. 4th and 1 here, and I mean, I think maybe there's a chance this isn't the game, this play right here, but I think it's safe to say that this might be just the game, this play right here. 4th and 1 from the 45-yard line. Greenfield Central Cougars lining up here. Dallas Freeman once again under center. Wishbone formation. Full box.
Yeah.
Got a carry here. He might be short. That might be Arabian football. It's going to be close. Did he get there? And it looks like they're going to give it to him. First down, Greenfield Central. And I want to hold back my bias here, but that was close. I mean, I think he might have reached over and then got hit. And that forward progression got him that first down, but that was close. But refs are going to give it to him, and again, they have the final say. So 1st and 10, Greenfield Central, now 2 minutes to play, and I think at this point you're just going to be trying to get this ball out in any way possible for the Arabians, as forcing a fumble. Carry up the middle. Braylon Benavente. This will be a yard or 2 gain on first. Brings up 2nd down. Clock ticking, now under 2 minutes to play. If you're just tuning in, scoreboard 43-38. Greenfield Central currently with possession and the lead.
Yeah, they're taking their time here to snap the ball. Only a minute and a half, and I mean the Arabians do have all their timeouts, but that's the thing. You don't want to use them all and then get stuck, maybe by the quarterback just snapping the ball to the ground.
Yeah.
Tough position here for the Arabians.
Of course, use all this play clock they can. 2nd and 7. We'll get a handoff here to the left side. This will be a gain of about a yard or 2. If anything, really. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 7 for Pendleton Heights, and they're going to call a timeout here. So, I mean, for the Arabians, you're looking at or for Greenfield Central, you're looking at a 3rd and 7 from Pendleton Heights' 41-yard line. You're leading by 5 points here with just over a minute to play. I think at this point you're going to just stick to the run game. And then for Pendleton Heights, it's the same story as it's been at the beginning of this drive. Do everything in your power to stop the run. I think at this point you can pretty much guarantee 100% it's going to be a run. Greenfield Central is keeping a receiver out there pretty much for the entire drive just to leave Pendleton Heights with that, hey, there's a chance we could pass it here, so don't just send everyone at us, which is obviously very smart, and it's been working out for them. So again, for Pendleton Heights, just stop this run, and maybe you'll have a chance to get this ball back, but again, you're going to have to be pretty much flawless on these next couple plays.
Yeah, and for the Cougars, you don't want to allow them to get too deep up the field anyways, because they could kick that field goal. Pushing that lead even further.
I would say I think a field goal is just not in this scenario, because I think by the time you get in the field, it's this game over, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a first down is game over. I'm not sure exactly the math, but I'm just guessing so. With just over a minute to play, Arabians just used a timeout. I can't imagine I'd give them another one, but we're going to get a timeout by Greenfield Central here. They just didn't really like what they were seeing there on 3rd down, so they're going to try to talk things over here in the huddle on a very, very crucial 3rd down play. But 91.7 WEEM is a student-run radio station. We provide everything from programming to music to live sports broadcasts and podcasts, but we cannot do it without your support. Everything you donate goes to the students that operate 91.7 WEEM. Donate today at 917weem.org. Again, that is 917weem.org. But team's taking the field once again here, 3rd and 7. Greenfield Central lining up on the Pendleton Heights 41. Arabians filling the box. We'll get a carry here to the outside, making defenders miss, and that'll be a first down, and that might just be the ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure exactly the math, but now I think it'll be just under a minute to play. Right now the clock reads 1:01. But Pendleton Heights just have one more timeout. I'm guessing Greenfield Central can just take the knee, and the clock's now running under a minute to play. Again, 43-38, Greenfield Central with the lead, and this might just do it for this game. And Greenfield Central, you got the win, but I mean, it was such a great performance by both teams. We saw Pendleton Heights. I mean, heading into this game, I think everyone knew that Pendleton Heights wasn't really they wasn't guaranteed that they were a serious football program, right?
Yeah.
Your first 3 games were against okay teams, but Greenfield Central was by far the hardest teams you faced, and they showed their bright spots. I think Pendleton Heights, despite the loss, did cement themselves as maybe they could finish up there in the conference. I mean, you play this game again, 9 times out of 10, it could be a Pendleton Heights win. I mean, I think these teams are just so good against each other. The competition is so good that any of these teams could get the win. So we will get a timeout here by Greenfield Central. I think they're just going to call a timeout with the play clock going down to 0, and they'll just come on, take a knee, and then pack it all up. But looking forward here on both schedules. Hey, you want to say something? You were going to say okay.
No.
Looking forward for both schedules. For Pendleton Heights, we were mentioning already in this evening's game, their next game will be on the road at New Pal. That'll be the 15th against the Dragons. The Dragons currently 1-2. They're currently playing Mount Vernon right now, and then that next week, Pendleton Heights will be on the road once again to face off against the Mount Vernon Marauders. Then the 29th, they'll see the Delta Eagles at home in the homecoming week. On the road against Yorktown, and the finishing off with Shelbyville. So that's the rest of the schedule for the Arabians. But for looking over for Greenfield Central, the 15th, they're going to be back at home against the Shelbyville Golden Bears next week, and then following that week, once again back at home against the New Pal Dragons. That's their next 2 matchups. And then they'll finish it off with their last 3 at Yorktown, then back at home against Delta, and then finally at Newcastle for their last game, regular season game, that is, of the year. But with that, the clock hits 000, and that'll do it for this evening's game. Once again, final score, Pendleton Heights 38, Greenfield Central 43. Pendleton Heights suffering their first loss of the season in a hard-fought battle against the Greenfield Central Cougars. But we're going to take a quick break. When we return, Aiden and I will recap this evening's performance on the Arabian Sports Network, 91.7 WEEM.
91.7